What you got in there?
In here? Doom.
Hey kids, let's talk about Doom. Y'all know what Doom is. People say to me, they say, Pro Doom when, Civvie? Actually, they say, where's Pro Blood Postmortem? I was waiting for End Blood to come out, and now it has, so soon. And since I wanted to do a video on Sigil, John Romero's upcoming whole new episode, it'd be a good idea to do Doom now. Now, you've seen Pro Wang, Pro Blood, Pro Postal, right? Pro Doom is gonna be different, because I'm way better at Doom than any of those games. Because it's way, way easier. Doom is in my blood. If I ever have kids, they're gonna come out circle strafing. Doom is the alpha, the omega, the original, one of the most important video games to ever exist. It's like Mario, but instead of plumbing, it's obsessive demon murder. I've spent more time with Doom than I have with my family. So while I'm probably gonna revisit it again for, say, Thy Flesh Consumed, or Doom 2, and certainly Plutonia, but there are some ground rules here. 1, we play on ultraviolence, the gentleman's way to play Doom. 2, while we are using a source port, GZ Doom in this case, we're using the True Color software renderer to get the most out of the dark areas and fuzzy specters. But what's the difference between the renderers, Civvie? You pedantic fu- OpenGL isn't the same, it's just not. It kind of muddles everything, you know, smooths it out too much. 3, we're not using Brutal Doom. We are using Smooth Doom's weapons though, not the enemies, because I think that's altering the experience too much, because the enemies in Doom, they have a certain way of telegraphing their attacks. You'll see it. And also, I had to slightly tweak the shotgun in Smooth Doom because the timing was off. Not to toot my own horn here, but when I booted it up and picked up the first shotgun, I noticed immediately that it was off and I had to fix it. Number 4, no vertical mouse look coupled with Doom's original auto-aiming. Oh yeah. Number 5, no saving. When I die, tough shit. It's back to the beginning of the level with nothing but your pistol. I'm excited. 6, I have to finish this can of Monster Ultra Zero Energy, which is easily the hardest part of this run. Okay. God, that's terrible. We're gonna kill the shit out of this meme. And of course, we start in the iconic E1M1 in Knee Deep in the Dead. Drink it in. When Doom came out, it was installed on more computers than Windows. I'm sure that includes the shareware version, which was Knee Deep in the Dead. I don't want to say that this is John Romero's finest hour. He only made 7 out of these 9 maps, and E1M4 was started by Tom Hall. But the ones Romero made are easily the best levels in Doom, and some of the most iconic and groundbreaking designs. You guys want to know why John Romero had an ego? Because he made the video game equivalent of Thriller, and on Ultraviolence, it's a first-time player's worst nightmare. Shotgunners greet you almost as soon as you start. They're the chain gunners of Doom 1. Bastard hit scanners, but it's not like in a build engine game where they start shooting you as soon as they see you. Up close, they can be deadly, but I'm not worried. It's funny because on Ultraviolence you get a shotgun from them in the first room, but on lower skills you can't find one except in this secret. If you're stuck with the pistol, you poor bastard, here's a fun thing. The way Doom's pistol works is that it becomes less accurate when you hold down the fire button, but if you wait for its animation to finish and then fire again, your shots never miss. This is practically useless information because you will almost never use the pistol. And it's taken me longer to talk about this level than it did to play it. It feels weird explaining how these monsters work to people because it's so much simpler than like any shooter I've done a pro series on, which is why this is only 1 episode. All the monsters telegraph their attacks, it's a little less noticeable on hit scanning enemies, but imps, pinkies, barons, cacodemons, cyber demons, spider demons, and... oh. Lost souls. That's the whole enemy roster. I didn't count specters because they're just black fuzzy pinkies. And you don't even see half the monsters in episode 1. Imps throw fireballs. Get close and they claw at you. Treat with shotgun. If problem persists, treat with more shotgun. I bitched about how the timing was off in this mod on the shotgun, but it's important. This shotgun is the granddaddy of FPS shotguns, and it gets overshadowed by the absolute beast of a super shotgun in Doom 2. Still a great, powerful, satisfying weapon. Decent at long range, even. I forgot the pink demons don't show up until level 3, but when they do, they're right there. 3 shotgun blasts, 2 if the RNG's on your side, and of course, stun locking with the chainsaw. All the monsters have a certain dance you have to perform with them, but killing them before they started is the best way to play. Chain gun all these zombies and imps, my fucking god, running through these areas and just massacring all of them. Ah, it's beautiful. And then the game throws pinkies in there when you're doing that too much to be a bullet shield for the long-range monsters, and to corner you. However, they still telegraph their attack, so you can just step out of the way, get a tiny bit farther away than their attack reaches. Here's the thing, I'm not thinking about this while I'm doing it. I'm watching this footage after the fact and explaining because this shit is muscle memory. Explaining certain areas in these levels isn't as important as in, say, Blood or Shadow Warrior, because Doom isn't that kind of a game. It's mazy. There are actually a couple of mazes that playing in software rendering will make more difficult, like this one in E1M2 that leads you to your first chainsaw, or... oh, you know what? Yeah, we'll get to Halls of the Damned. Episode 1 isn't easy. Exactly. It's easy for me because I've played it 1,000 times. It gives you a rocket launcher and a secret in the 3rd level, and just so many rockets after that. There's still a couple of places episode 1 nearly gets me, like this room at the end of Central Processing, which I got to early, by the way, because these levels, there's a shortcut through here. Okay, but never mind. Here's this room. Much harder to deal with in 1993. Nowadays, it's still a bitch and I prepare. It's too cramped for rockets unless you know this is coming. I can completely bypass this maze in Central Processing with the blue key and a super secret door. I mean, I'm still gonna go through it and kill all these guys. Computer Station is the most episode 1 level of episode 1. It is by far my favorite. It's packed with traps, monsters, non-linear hallways. This level is too good. It's that penultimate challenge before the boss level that throws everything at you. A+. Since I know where all the secrets are, and I mean all of the secrets, I have so many rockets to use. I almost die. Almost, because on Ultraviolence the sheer number of specters in this arena is ridiculous, but I get out and I win, and entering the Phobos anomaly technically kills you, or ends the level when your health is below a certain point, signifying the Doom guy has died and is on his way to hell. Yeah, this is fucking terrible. Straight into Deimos Anomaly. Let's talk about how Bobby Prince only barely avoided plagiarizing a bunch of metal and hard rock songs like AC/DC's Big Gun, Metallica's Master of Puppets, No Remorse, and also The Slayer, Pantera. You guys know. I can't do a side-by-side comparison because YouTube's copyright bots will get me. Anyway, if you're playing on lower skills, you may not even meet the Cacodemon here, because it's just a lost soul. Unless you find this secret with the plasma gun in it, which you should. Plasma gun is awesome, and I try to save as much plasma ammo as possible for the Cyber Demon because, honestly, fuck that rocket duel stuff. The Cyber Demon doesn't take any splash damage from explosions. Okay, the Cacodemon. It's got a projectile you dodge and a melee attack you should never even be able to trigger if you're playing correctly. 6 shotgun blasts, 5 if you're lucky, or stun lock it with the chain gun or plasma gun, or usually 2 rockets, but I avoid using rockets, especially when they're in groups because they tend to get separated and float away, or just beat the shit out of it. Episode 2 and 3 aren't as good as Episode 1. They're fine, mostly. I even like Containment Area, with the crate maze and the first appearance of the Berserk Pack. If you're a zoomer watching this, a Berserk Pack gives you 100 health and amplifies your regular punch damage by a factor of 10. For the rest of the level, not just when your screen turns red. Really useful for saving ammo. I'm weird, so I like these huge open levels full of secret paths. Most of these maps are credited to Sandy Peterson and were started by Tom Hall. It's weird because I don't know who to credit for this stuff exactly. Sandy Peterson made most of the maps in Episode 3. Tom Hall wasn't really interested in making a fast, brutal shooting game. He wanted to go back to its roots like Commander Keen, because I guess he didn't like money and success and Ferraris and stuff. How does he have that same face? There was a lot of infighting when nobody was listening to Tom Hall's ideas, as if he was in some sort of position of authority there. So the two Johns, John Romero and the benevolent hyper-intelligent architect of the post-singularity simulation we all live in, John Carmack, fired him. And then they brought in Sandy Peterson 10 weeks before the game was done, so keep that in mind when I knock Sandy Peterson's levels for being kinda trash. It's okay, everybody does it. Don't even get me started on the Doom Bible. Refinery is fine as a level. Another neat spike in difficulty where you've got 4 cacodemons sitting in front of you in a cage at the start. Barons of Hell start showing up more regularly. Nothing too difficult yet till you hit Command Center in a giant sprawling maze of a level that has some tough areas and even secret areas that you have to get to by going over pits of toxic sludge like this one here where the Baron is in the cage. This is a pain, but here's the thing. There's plasma gun and a bunch of ammo here and you're gonna want that. For Lost Souls. Lost Souls are the worst enemy in Doom 1. They're mediated a little bit in Doom 2 because the Super Shotgun 1 hits them, but here, I like to chain gun them, stun lock them, or if I have the ammo, plasma gun, just to keep them from charging. I hate them. Don't use the rocket launcher because they'll get right up in your face and you'll kill yourself. They usually come in groups, like larger groups than you'd see later when pain elementals would show up, because a pain elemental can be put down before they spit out 10 lost souls. Not here though. They're all individually placed in the map, and this secret and containment area thinks I'm gonna chainsaw them. Command Center, right? Another secret exit in this one that's not too well hidden, relatively, since after playing this game for 25 years, you forget what a mess all of this is. Secret level is Fortress of Mystery, which is the worst level in Doom. No doubt, hands down. Second worst is coming up in Episode 3. But fucking Fortress of Mystery is awful. You start off surrounded by barons, then a room full of cacodemons and an exit room that's just doors you open to get keys to open doors to get keys to see this unpegged texture here for no reason. One of the problems in Doom 1 is how repetitive certain parts of it can get with the relatively low enemy variety, which I'm gonna sum up with this bit from Fortress of Mystery. The map I really want to talk about is the one that I have the most trouble with, probably in the entire game, which is Halls of the Damned. One section of Halls of the Damned, and no, it's not the fake exit, that's fine. It's the one in the dark. Yeah, this one. I mean, yeah, you can find a few pairs of light amplification goggles on this level, but... Spawning Vats introduces you to the invincibility power-up, which reminds me to talk about the invisibility power-up. Okay, invisibility, great for first-time players, a fucking curse for veterans. Because what it does is it makes monsters more inaccurate and they have a harder time hitting you, so muscle memory kicks in and you dodge right into their projectiles. But invincibility, baby, yeah! An all-white God mode screen. What's better than that? There's more than one invincibility power-up in Spawning Vats, so you can just run through like a madman, which you should do here. All this is starting to blend together, and I'm only in hour 3 of this now. Getting to the Cyber Demon, Tower of Babel, the infamous Tower of Babel, the pants shitting heard round the world in 1993 because we didn't know how to circle strafe yet. It's just that there's all these goddamn lost souls everywhere, and specifically, one of them blocks my path and boxes me in here, so instead of using the plasma gun, I have to rocket duel. Thanks, you little fucker, real nice. I could have taken him with 3 health. That's the only death in this run, by the way. The Cyber Demon is easy. He's big, he's mean, but once you get the hang of him, he's not a problem. He fires rockets in volleys of 3, and you can circle strafe around him, you know, like this, and I get to be extra careful because of the lost souls getting in my face. But oh no, Deimos floats above hell itself. So now you just jump down, I assume, because no falling damage. Or you rappel down from that. Oh god. This just tastes like citrus. It doesn't taste like any specific citrus. It tastes like artificial citrus. You know those Japanese sex robots they have? This is probably what their pussy tastes like. Straight into Inferno. Hell won't know what hit him. But also fuck this level from the start for making me pistol these cacodemons. This episode is hell, by the way, the worst that Doom has to offer, because it's time for the infamous Slough of Despair, where Sandy Peterson said, let's make a level shaped like a hand, and then did that, and it's Lost Souls, baby, and tight little spaces with pinky demons, and no chainsaw yet, and it's a little while before you can get to the secret plasma gun in this level. You will absolutely need it. Ammo's tight for a while, so much so that when I get... Oh, right, the Lost Souls. What a way to end a level. People gave John Romero shit for Daikatana, but Slough of Despair and Fortress of Mystery should earn Sandy Peterson a flogging. Pandemonium is better, thankfully, even if I run out of ammo and have to punch. Oh yeah, and also, we finally pick up the BFG. It's magic. Okay, I guess if you want something a little more detailed, the BFG shoots a big green projectile that does a bunch of damage, pretty much nuking anything weaker than a monster they'd put at the end of an episode. But it's not done, because then it fires 40 invisible tracer attacks, and if you fire it into another room, but you keep facing the same direction and it hits, and then the tracers go into the room that you're in, the BFG is absolutely overpowered. But if you're gonna call something the big fucking gun, you better deliver. Moving on, I don't entirely hate Episode 3. I even like House of Pain's aesthetic in the early level. All this skin and gore and shit, this is good. Unholy Cathedral can fuck right off, though. Hey, you see this crudely drawn sign that looks like a devil? It means there's demons in there. This teleporter puzzle is bullshit. 3 of them take you to the center, and 1 of them takes you over here, but then you gotta... Oh, Jesus. I'm in the 4th hour now, and even pros get tired. And sloppy. These levels are getting worse. Like this last part of House of Pain is actual pain. Look at this. It's a hallway full of medkits with a damaging... This is dumb! This is dumb. Mount Erebus isn't bad, I guess, except this fire blue building. If you kids don't know what fire blue is, it's this. But then you get the secret exit to Warren's, which I like to think of as revenge on the first level, because now I have weapons and a BFG. This was designed to use a rocket to blow yourself over there, but just strafe front. Don't use a rocket. Warren's just starts off as the first level of the episode until you get to the end, and then there's a cyber demon. Blast him and forget about that invincibility. I don't need invincibility to beat a cyber demon. What I do need is to kill him, take all the rockets, use the invincibility, and just piggyback invulnerabilities while rocketing everything in the level, not having to worry about splash damage. Which gets me to this part with the missing lower texture.
Fucking roll!
Yeah, that's right, I rawed Doom. Suck it. I just want this to stop. Next up is Gate to Limbo, the most disappointing penultimate level in the history of penultimate levels. There's only 47 monsters, and the only thing hard about it is the fact that you have to run around over damaging floors to do a teleport puzzle. It's bullshit, and I only know how to do it because I've done it 1,000 times. Now to the ultimate disappointment, the Spider Mastermind, who could be killed with 1 BFG blast. I'm gonna kill everything in the level anyway, let's go. Because I'm not focusing my BFG blast, it takes 4 to kill the spider, which is weird. Don't marathon this shit because Doom starts high and ends low. Oh shit, I forgot. Ugh. Alright, we're done with the boomer juice. I'm irritable, my hands are shaky, but we're done. We're gonna do Thy Flesh Consumed another time, because I hate like 85% of it. And because I'll have to disregard Rule 5, because I'm not pistol starting Perfect Hatred 20 times. Fuck that. Fuck all of this. Fuck Doom. Doom sucks. I wonder if Sigil will be out on time. Doom 2!
Doom 2 is just such a bigger, badder, better version of Doom. A lot of people out there waiting for it, for sure. This is pretty much more popular than football.
Once you start playing, you're hooked.
We have a lot of people asking what to expect in Doom 2. When's it going to come out? When's it going to come out? When's it going to come out?
Doom 2 is where the series grew into what we know as Doom. The armies of hell, the absolute brutality, the high enemy counts, the perfect arsenal, the enemies. There's a lot of ground to cover on this one. Doom 2 came out on September 30th, 1994, about 10 months after Doom. Yeah, it didn't take them long. Same engine, some new monsters, a new weapon. Doesn't seem like too much of an upgrade if you ask me. Wrong. Boring. Maybe because I've played it 1,000 times. It's got a bit of a reputation. The layout lends itself to some incredible deathmatch combat. You don't even know what you're in for with this level. These are all Doom 1 monsters. If you've never played this for whatever reason, step back, grab the chainsaw, unlike Doom 1, you're getting a few weapons in this map. Shotgun is outside. You have to run over this light here to open a door to get to the rocket launcher. There, easy. Right about here, you're gonna start noticing something a little different. Doom 2's throwing a lot more monsters at you. This is the second level and there's nearly 100 zombies, imps, and pinkies. And it's dark and, well, it's not important compared to the super shotgun. The ultimate demon-slaying weapon, the pinnacle of shotguns. You think, why don't they just call it the double barrel? Because it's better. Because it's super. If Batman was a gun, he'd be this. No more extended fights with pinkies, no more lost souls taking more than a split second to exercise. Whole groups of low-tier enemies fall at the hands of this absolute beast of a weapon. Listen to it. It has never been outdone. It is absolutely 100% perfect, and anyone who says otherwise is wrong. Some people say it's overpowered. They're also wrong. Powerful? Absolutely. But with the monsters you're going to be dealing with soon, you need that kind of power. Wait a minute. No, it's spelled different. There we go. You're just walking around having fun with your new super shotgun. Oh yeah, just tearing through. When you go up this elevator and this happens. The Chain Gunner, the first of the new monsters you're gonna meet, and an absolute bastard. You all know why. Shotgunners were bad enough. Chain Gunners in large numbers are a goddamn firing squad. If you'd like to experience what that's like, Plutonia's that way. It's actually been quite a while since I've played through Doom 2 all the way, and it's not bad so far, even this level, with its chain gunners and its weird secrets. There's more emphasis on running over platforms and such in this game than in Doom 1. They knew the engine better.
The level designer's expertise in designing levels will show through because they've learned a lot from the creation of Doom 1, or Doom, and their level of expertise will show through in Doom 2.
A little map with some weird, why does walking over a box lower the other box and not the switch? Who made this? Oh, it was American McGee. He's responsible for a lot of these early Doom 2 levels, except the first one, that's Peterson map. The focus isn't bad though, it's fine. 2 sewer levels and 5 maps. Awesome. If you're too blind to have gotten the super shotgun yet, here it is right at the start, along with these elevators that drop you into imp closets. I always forget how to get the plasma gun in this level because it's one of those patented American McGee torch secrets, where you have to press a torch despite the fact that you don't use things in Doom, just lines. So it lowers this floor and then boom, plasma gun. You're also introduced to our next in the lineup of all-star monsters, the Hell Knight. Not particularly creative to recolor the Baron and give him half the health. It's not the worst idea. All the other monsters are a little more unique. The Hell Knight keeps getting a redesign to make him different. The one in Doom 3 looks like this, and the one in Doom 4 looks like the one in Doom 3, which is weird. Never mind. I'll always remember this dark-ass room full of hit scanners that think they're gonna get the drop on me. No, get out, fuck off. Crusher my ass. One room has a crusher in it, with like Barons and Hell Knights on lower skills if I'm remembering right, and a spider demon on ultra violence. Good luck, dick. Oh yeah, and you get to meet the Lord of Doom memes, the spooky skeleton boy himself, the Revenant. He's a dick too. His homing missiles can be avoided with enough space and not even that much movement, and cancelled out altogether if you take out your old friend the super shotgun, get up nice and close, provoking him to try to melee you. Get used to Revenants, because they're gonna show up a lot from now on. Bony bastards. Again, I like the Crusher, mostly. Got a lot of character and cool secrets like these idiot zombies who choose to hide in a room full of explosive barrels. You have ventured deeply into the infested starport, but something is wrong. The monsters have brought their own reality with them, and the starport's technology is being subverted by their presence. Basically, Doomguy has a mission in these early levels, which is to help the survivors on Earth escape the planet because nobody else is badass enough to kill all these demons. You're the only one to ever survive an invasion, followed by a trip to Hell, and back, and then survive Hell Beneath, which is still harder than any level in Doom 2. Dead Simple is one of the most famous Doom levels. Most Doom 2 WADs that have a Map 7 have a Dead Simple clone. There's map-specific tags to use when you kill monsters in this level. So when you kill the Mancubus, like, the walls lower, and if you kill an Arachnotron, the steps raise. The Mancubus, a wall of gelatinous fire-spewing pain. 2 at a time, 3 in a row. Blinding fireballs, taking 4 or 5 rockets or super shotgun blasts. He's one of the toughest monsters. Followed by the Arachnotron, a smaller version of the spider mastermind that didn't watch enough Rick and Morty. The manual says that it's worse that they have a plasma gun, which is nonsense. The spider demon's chain gun, which is more of an automatic shotgun, is way worse. Plasma shots can be dodged. I gotta mention the sound design, because when the enemies die, it feels less like the sound effect library stuff you got in Doom 1, where you kill the imp and it's a camel sound. It is a lot more satisfying. The Mancubus's grunt, which I always thought said, "Hump your mom," which isn't some Freudian complex that Civvie has, you fucking weirdos, and the Arachnotron just shutting down and their brains collapsing. Good stuff. I had a fine time in Dead Simple. 0 damage. Just take it as a sign of how easy it is to dodge this stuff. But the fun can't last forever. We're into the giant rooms full of monsters now. Tricks and traps. Civvie, why don't you do some infighting? I don't really like infighting, it's faster to kill everything yourself. Usually. This is really the turning point for Doom 2, where it goes from Doom but more to a different experience, one more savage. When this game throws a room full of monsters at you, you want to run in there and kill them all. You're out for blood. So much so that when I hear a monster in another room that could possibly still be alive, my response is like this.
Who said that? Who the fuck said that?
You'll get your very first BFG in this level too. So we're on level 8. You've got all the weapons. You've met most of the monsters except... Remember how I really hated Lost Souls in Doom 1 because they were a fucking nuisance? Now there's a monster that does nothing but spawn Lost Souls. You want some tips? You want tricks? Okay, chain gun or plasma. Just kill it and fast. And to avoid it spawning more Lost Souls when it dies, get it into a tight space. Cause yeah, it also does that thing because it's pure evil. Other highlights, tricks, and traps include this hallway where you're trapped with a Baron. No. Fuck it, fuck it, fuck it! Despite the fact that there are way too many pain elementals and chain gunners in this level, I kinda love it. It is just hordes of enemies, all over. It's also got my favorite music track in the game. You're running and gunning in every room of battle, especially this one. Oh, this one. Oh, I know what's coming. You want some of this? From here on out, bloodbaths. Not as brutal or slaughter-mappy as Plutonia, but this is where it comes from. This is the genesis. Oh, and also fuck pain elementals. I was kinda low on ammo at the end of this map. It was kinda ugly, but I got the job done. Refueling base. Now we're talking. A revamped Tom Hall level from Doom 1 they put into Doom 2. Stuffed to the brim with hundreds of monsters, full of cool secret paths that go all around the map. This fun little room full of hit scanners, a cyber demon fight that you can cheese with 2 invulnerabilities. This is actually one of my favorites in the game. Circle of Death. O of Destruction. This is the first Romero level in the game, and it's good, it's fine. The end is a bit of a schlep. The Archvile, the most worthy of opponents. No matter how good you are, no matter how much Doom you've played, there's always the Archvile. A line-of-sight attack that blinds you with fire before exploding your sorry ass. And he resurrects dead monsters, takes slightly more punishment than a Mancubus, and is damn fast. The Archvile is a force to be reckoned with, and I love him. He's the last to be introduced, and he caps off the all-star lineup of Doom 2 monsters. The monsters are extremely important, and because of their incredibly varied attack patterns and how mixing and matching them can create so many different combat scenarios, this is the thing, in my opinion, that's given Doom 2 and its modding scene such longevity. Sure, having easy-to-use tools and source ports that let you turn Doom into anything helps, but this is such a perfect and delicate balance, honed over, what, 10 months of development? It's beautiful. Unfortunately, we have to get into the bad parts now. Okay, so here's the first map I absolutely hate. Doom's middle third is the most questionable. Turns out the demonic invasion is coming from the heart of your hometown, which, knowing it, is probably Texas. If you look to your left, you'll see why I hate using Doom's auto-aim and why I only use it for these videos, to stay classic without having to play like Chocolate Doom or something with the 35 FPS cap. Yeah, 35 FPS was really cool in 1994. Hyperspace cybernetic intelligence and juvenile delinquent John Carmack. That second part is absolutely true. Okay, so this one time John Carmack went to juvie because he made some thermite to burn through a window so he and some other kids could break into a school and steal a computer. There is a much darker timeline where he kills us all. Anyway, the factory is a bad, bad level. My first death of the run. I know I should have taken the Berserk into this teleporter instead of being wrecked by the imps the first time. It's fine. There's this completely unimportant room full of imps. I guess it's satisfying to... Step right up, we're doing the Wang Nuke thing again, this time in the future, with a big fucking gun! And this room full of switches and cacodemons, nah, miss me with this shit. It's not hard, it's just a slog. Downtown fucking nowhere. I've never been to Texas, but I know it doesn't look like this, and there isn't a goddamn imp in every window above your view height. Hey, all you aspiring level designers, here's the tip. If you need a giant arrow to tell you where to go in the level is not well designed. I'm sorry, Sandy, you do better later. And I know it dropped half the maps on ya. When I say half the maps, well, there are 32 maps in Doom 2, and Sandy Peterson made 18 of them. I don't really count the 2 secret maps, you'll see why. So he had 16 maps to make for Doom 2. John Romero was off producing Heretic and Hex and deathmatching, and generally being less involved. He was a rock star now. I mean, I just love John Romero, he's such a goddamn character. I can't even be mad. Oh, that and it was like 25 years ago, he says while he routinely gets the butt pains over shitty old DOS games. Downtown, right, that's what I was talking about like 2 minutes ago. Full of weird teleports to take you where you need to go, maybe. Looking even less like a city than any of Doom's levels look like whatever the fuck they're supposed to look like. It gets better. The Inmost Dens. McGee returns and comes out with my personal favorite Doom 2 level. Fast, slick, pretty, fun, good map. That's all I got. Industrial Zone. This one doesn't look like a city either, but we can blame Romero for that. This thing here, with this lowering wall, I always thought that was kind of like that part in Duke 3D where you're demolishing the building, right? That's what it always seemed like to me back when I could use my imagination. Anyway, Industrial Zone is better. I guess from a design standpoint, it's got a bunch of different areas, nice verticality. The last building is a pain. Good thing you don't need to go in there. There's a switch around here somewhere. It's hazy in all of this bloodlust. Oh, that's mean. That is typical Romero. Getting to the secret level is weird. You have to go into this secret here, and then go on this platform and leave, and then this door across the map opens. I don't know how you're supposed to know that, but whatever. Wolfenstein. We got Nazis, kiddos. Nazis aren't getting their own folder. Fuck them, they're Nazis. I will not leave this level until I see 100 dead Nazis and find all the secrets, but it's like a remake of Wolfenstein E1M1, which I know like the back of my hand. More because of this secret level than actually playing Wolfenstein 3D. To the point where if I go and play Wolf 3D, I always look for the secret in that room with all the dogs, or Pink Demons in Doom 2. You know, where you get all this cool stuff. It's good secret. Just like in Wolfenstein 3D, there's a secret exit inside of a secret, inside of a secret, in the end of the map. I like this level because I can just, blaze through it. Hi, I didn't get that joke when I was a kid, but I do now. Anyway.
Shoot level! Shoot level!
Say goodbye, Galaxy, you fucking albino spaceman. I don't care if Sandy Peterson says he based this level on a real place, it looks nothing like one. I still like it though. This absolutely brutal battle I talked about in the last Pro Doom episode. Mwah, great stuff. I'd even be okay with it if it didn't have all these power-ups. There was nothing like this in Doom 1. This is way more bonkers. This level isn't bad either, really. I just remember a Cyber Demon being here because of when I played in co-op. I only hate this tiny ledge over this pit here. Tiny ledges over pits are kind of crap, especially when this came out and a lot of people were playing with keyboard only. A giant arena of a level with hordes of monsters, oh baby, keep it coming. Gets the blood pumping. I remember hating more maps in Doom 2. It's hard to look back on it now after there have been thousands of fan-made maps that wipe the floor with Doom 2's stock levels. Absolute banger. Love it. If not for the kind of primitive castle design that only really has the shape of a castle, I love this secret area that's just a room where you get surrounded by imps and there's teleporters to take you all around the map. I don't know why I like it so much, honestly. I keep having to circle back around because I haven't memorized where all those teleporters go. Not quite as impressive as a Hexen castle would be. I mean visually, since in this one you don't have to go around the perimeter of the castle looking for fucking switches. The exit is locked with all 3 keys, but if you're desperate you can squeeze through with only 2. Battle of the Century, Spider Demon versus Cyber Demon, and while most times I play the Cyber Demon wins, the Spider takes it sometimes. The Spider has certain advantages, like being immune to splash damage from the Cyber Demon's rockets, having that chain gun, still, usually doesn't survive. As is the case here. Bye-bye, I'll waste 1 BFG shot on the Cyber Demon, and I'll tell you what, the Auto Imp fucks over the monsters too. Another level I really like. It's very open, it's filled with secret areas that don't even need to be explored, they're just there for curious players. Like this one that gets me every single time. I'm not really a fan of this one. It's fine, I guess. Teleporter heavy and dickish. Not really badly designed. The bit where you're plowing through shotgunners and get assaulted by revenants, it's intense. It's really a butt clincher, as are all situations where you're getting ambushed by these boners. It's a real pain in the ass. Leaves you sore and tired, I'll tell you what. You know what? Just cut all of that. That was garbage. Oh man, this one was wrecking me at first. I feel awful about it. It's a short level. Again, it's not even bad, it's just... I'm more concerned about... Oh boy, barrels of fun. Excuse me, where's the kaboom? There's supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom. Once you actually get up to the second area here and get a full frontal assault of pain elementals all around these explosive barrels, and then the other side opens you up to attack, and once you get over there, see, okay, sometimes I will underestimate Doom 2. I'm a pro, right? Pink demons can't stop me. Yeah, I'm overthinking it. I wasted so much plasma I'm stuck with a rocket launcher for the Spider Demon, which seems intended what with all these rockets. Nah, fuck it. Let's turn the Arachnotrons against their mama and keep the rockets for things that aren't immune to splash damage. Without the splash damage, the super shotgun does comparable damage to the rocket launcher, because it's awesome. Okay, maybe it's a little OP. I get plenty of use out of those rockets, though. But then...
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
If you've played Doom 2, you know the chasm. We've gotten to the hardest parts of the game now. You're in hell, even if this is some kind of subterranean frustration factory built by Sandy Peterson, god damn it! Yeah, it's infamous for all these tiny ledges, and since Doom 2 doesn't have falling damage, you can't even jump off for the sweet release of death. So many fucking pinkies and specters, just over and over. What's next? Oh, okay. Blood falls. It's fine, it's not great. I'd like to know how this room is so fucking dark when there's like 25 torches in here. This is a thing, right? I have Doom compatibility in GZ Doom set to strict, as you do for this kind of thing, which turns on the infinitely tall monsters, cause Doom isn't 3D, and the whole height thing was still a little off. Monsters and players and explosions and stuff, they're all infinitely tall, so even if you're up here, they still block you. Not as much of a problem in the first game, is occasionally crippling in this one. Holy shit, this is like my 10th death. Embarrassing. The level's kind enough to give you a ton of cell ammo, so nuke this arch vial. Now, some people asked me after the last video what I was talking about with this effect. This is a bug that happens when you don't put a texture on a higher or lower surface in Doom. The floor just kind of repeats for a while and does this effect. It's interesting. It's supposed to be kind of surreal. Whatever, man, it's fine. I don't even care about it. Abandoned Mines. Decent, not bad, claustrophobic and twisty, sometimes hard to navigate, and there's like 50 secrets out of the first room, which is an elevator. It's complicated, but...
Oh, whoops, oh, I dropped my monster condo that I used for my Magnum Dong.
Monster Condo is... Monster Condo. I don't know why it's called that, because it looks about as much like a condo as anything else. It's full of monsters. It's got the deadliest revenant attacks in the entire game, in the form of this merry-go-round of pain. And this dimension-twisting trip. Oh, baby. Yeah, fucking brilliant. You think I'm scared of Doom 2 monsters? I've been killing these things since I was 6 years old. Now we're in hell. We have gotten to the fireworks factory, kids. I like this one, I really do. I like the visual design of this area, this mess of demons over here. And for some reason, 2 pain elementals in cages. Why? I don't know, they can't attack you. It's like all the demons hate them too, as they fucking should. Also, these bars are only textured on one side.
Fucking roll!
I like the beginning of this map, not the end so much. The end is ugly, it's got fake walls with... And this trap where you pick up the red key. 5 out of 10 monster closet. 10 out of 10 meme. I don't much care for 2 arch files at a time if I'm being honest. The Living End. They gave Romero the penultimate map and he didn't disappoint. This one's actually pretty cool. I rarely fall into the pits anymore. Once you get through this gauntlet and you get to the central area where you have to fight a cyber demon. Or not, you can just run to the exit. The Icon of Sin isn't so much a boss, as much as it is a wall texture that spits out demons. You have to get to the top of these platforms, hit this switch to raise up an elevator in front of the wall, and then when it comes up you have to time your rockets to get them directly into the brain here. And it's constantly spawning monsters in order to prevent you from doing that. If you're too slow or you get screwed by the RNG, get ready to try again. Pain elementals are a problem. Archviles are a goddamn curse. I've never liked this boss. I mouse-looked the bastard away when playing casually, but we have to do this legit, so I will. Oh, and if you think I'm not going to mention that the boss is John Romero's head on a stick, well, that's just absurd.
To win the game, you must kill me, John Romero.
It turns out, flavor text can make you feel a little bit of accomplishment. The horrendous visage of the biggest demon you've ever seen crumbles before you after you pump your rockets into his exposed brain. The monster shrivels up and dies, its thrashing limbs being impossible to render in 1994. You've done it. The invasion is over. Earth is saved. Hell is a wreck. You wonder where bad folks will go when they die. Now, wiping sweat from your forehead, you begin the long trek back home. Rebuilding Earth ought to be a lot more fun than ruining it was. It abandoned the Doom series for a while to put out Quake games, and almost all of the original team would leave it before we get a third game, which was, unsurprisingly, completely different. I may not like all of this game, but I respect the absolute hell out of it. God damn, you know, I'm trying not to make hell puns and they just keep happening. I'm sorry.
I never gave much thought to what it meant. I just thought it was some cold-blooded shit to say to a motherfucker before I popped a cap in his ass.
For those who think the first 3 episodes of Doom were too easy, here's Thy Flesh Consumed, which jumps between fair challenge and occasional fun to completely unnecessary cruelty. Remember that no-saving pistol start rule? That's out. That's gone forever from now on. I might have been able to do Doom 2 with it. Not Thy Flesh Consumed. Hell Beneath, well, this is American McGee's contribution to ruining everybody's day. I've talked about this one before. Hey look guys, I beat it. I didn't even die once. I won't talk too much more about it. Let me just say that this shit here with the fake walls and shotgunners and enemies behind it where they teleport in after they see you and then... You see this here? This is a fake wall. Here's what's behind that wall. Monsters and a teleporter. But the monsters can see you and shoot you. The fuck was American McGee thinking? There's a way to do this trap that isn't so shitty and dickish, and I gotta jump over to Doom 2 to give you an example because that's what springs to mind. In Suburbs, you have this huge battle, right, and the enemies all teleport in. But they're not behind an invisible wall. They can't even see you. The sound is what alerts the monsters. They can't attack you until you go here and then a door opens that lets them go through the teleporter. You probably alerted him 10 seconds into the level when you shot at this archvile. I'm sorry if I'm spoiling the magic for you kids, but that's how it was done. See also that shit from Military Base. John, you know. A secret rocket launcher to help with the Baron, platforms where you get surrounded by specters. This shotgunner trap at the beginning is all kinds of dickish, but at least you get ammo out of it. Hey, you guys like weird secret death traps with the 9 Inch Nails logo in them? This level is evil and I hate it. Let's move on to Perfect Hatred. Oh, Perfect Hatred. John Romero's speed map that made it into Thy Flesh Consumed. Supposedly he made the map in 6 hours. Probably when he was busy not working on Quake. Narrow ledges above ever-present damaging floors. The fact that the only way up from that is walking up a damaging stairway into a room full of imps. And there's one rad suit down there and a supercharge and oh, God, this. You go in here, and you have to drop down, but this line here inexplicably opens this door over here, the only way out of this pit. But not this switch. This switch raises the floor up so you can get to that cool plasma gun over there. You want that. Everybody wants that. Just get through these 2 barons. It'll be great. It'll be fine. You'll love it. Thanks, John.
Oh,
Not even real. Seriously?
there's 2 of these guys? Are you playing on ultraviolence?
I must be.
Yeah. That is rough. All right, yeah. You can kind of, yeah.
Yeah, now we're
You can
talking.
cheese them. It's your level.
Yeah. Have to.
That is, okay, yeah. That's a good strategy.
Oh, not
Oh my
even-
gosh, wait, there's
What
3?
is happening?
How is that possible?
I know, right? And Doomsday, John? Doomsday? For those of you who aren't familiar, Doomsday is a source port that is the pinnacle of HD dooming. Who am I to talk? I forgot to turn off dynamic lighting. And when you're done with that, you get that key, you open that platform and there's more barons, you clear them, and then cacodemons, and the specters. Get used to using that plasma gun. There's no other way to effectively get through this nightmare. I've been watching those pink demons up there this whole map, not wanting to waste ammo on them just yet. Now's the time. Go up there, kill him. Oh yeah, look out for that cyber demon there. He's inconvenient. Second map of the episode, everybody. Plasma gun him. But oh wait, you walk forward and this door opens to reveal 8,000 cacodemons. This is John Romero being an asshole, and here's why. The door with the cacodemons is a distraction, and it fucks you over. It's distracting you from a teleporter that opened back here, and lets you telefrag the cyber demon, and save a ton of ammo, and get a BFG, and open the secret exit. The worst is over. The rest of the episode is significantly easier in my opinion. It tries to be harder, but it also gives you tons of ammo. Fear, the secret level, not too bad. The symmetrical layout is lame. It looks more like an episode 1 map than something in hell. Whatever. Honestly, nothing else in the episode is as hard as the first 2 levels, not even the secret level. Sever the Wicked starts off ball busting. Hit this switch and go get the invincibility power up first, and if you're speedrunning, strafe run to the exit over there. And if not, this level's not too bad. You'll start picking up a lot of rockets. There's another fake wall over here where there's monsters shooting you. Thanks, Sean Green. This is his first Doom map, and you know what? Good job. He made this map and the last map of the episode, and Bloodfall's in Doom 2, so 2 out of 3 ain't bad. What? This isn't a bug, this is a feature. Nothing is going to make you miss having a super shotgun more than this episode. Lots of cacodemons and lost souls. I say miss the super shotgun because Thy Flesh Consumed came out with Ultimate Doom in 1995, after Doom 2 was released. The story takes place between Doom 1 and Doom 2. You've returned to Earth. Yeah, this episode takes place on Earth, and I think the only map that might give that away is the secret level. Next up, Unruly Evil, the worst map in Thy Flesh Consumed. Nah, it is. It's not hard. In fact, it's probably the easiest one. It's also made by American McGee. It's really, really brown, full of misaligned textures that aren't secrets, an invincibility power-up and a soul sphere that you don't really need. I don't know, it's not terrible, it's just kind of bland. It's so small and easy, it probably should have been the first map of the episode. You know what? I'm gonna give this level another chance. I'm gonna do it pistol start this time. Okay, well, it is harder, and if you don't find the Berserk and the rocket launcher in this secret, good fucking luck. It is harder, but it's not as hard as Hell Beneath. The next map is They Will Repent, designed by Tim Willits and his sister Teresa Chazar. That actually sounds very nice and wholesome, and is, I don't usually play most of it. Okay, the exit is right over here, I can just do this. I don't even need the BFG over there. Next up, a Romero map he actually spent time on, Against Thee Wickedly. I don't want to say it's the best map of Thy Flesh Consumed, lest I be criticized for sucking John Romero's dick. When we eventually get to the Daikatana episode, and the Doom 2 episode, and the Quake episode, that's gonna happen a lot less, if at all. I wonder when Sigil's coming out. Brutal map. I'd say it has the best architecture of the episode, some of the better fights. Even though some of the levels are ballbusters, I think, on the whole, this has better level design than episodes 2 and 3. There's too many cacodemons, which is a complaint I think can be leveled at everything after episode 2, to be honest. Doom needed more enemies and weapons, so you got Doom 2 cacodemons can fucking fuck off. Everybody remembers this level because of the Cyber Demon fight at the end, which is... I can do better. There we go. I like the next level better, and Hell Followed. Designed by the late John Anderson, also known as Dr. Sleep, who also worked on the master levels, Blood when it was a Q Studios game, Unreal, Kingpin, even some of the levels in Daikatana that aren't dog shit. Locks you in a tiny room with a cyber demon and gives you invincibility? Good man, kind man, absolute lad. This level's even fun enough for me to ignore him not marking his locked doors. Still, good map, smart to keep this guy around. And finally, Unto the Cruel. Not a bad way to finish out the episode. There sure are a lot of hit scanners in this room. This here is what's commonly known as door fighting. Here's the thing, Doom doesn't have any textures for waterfalls or lava falls, so they use this. And in They Will Repent, they just use this texture for a bloodfall. Like they couldn't just copy the one they had from Doom 2 and put it in Doom 1. By this point, I've got so many rockets and cells, and that might still be the case even if I pistol started, because I haven't died since, like, map 6. Last room where you face another spider demon, and a few barons, a cacodemon, whatever, you can just spam the BFG. Leave the map with 200 health and armor, your pet bunny avenged. But now you see spread before you more potential pain and gibbitude. Gibbitude, the most 90s FPS word to ever 90s in an FPS, as a nation of demons run amok among our cities. Next stop, Hell on Earth. Unless Sigil comes out first.
What is happening?
How is that possible?
Oh, here we go, kids. Linear Doom. Emergent gameplay. This is what I'm talking about. Nah, fuck this. Oh, Unholy Cathedral. My favorite. "10 out of 10 remake. This is a better April Fool's joke than the one I came up with. Oh boy, kids, it's Sigil. It's out. How'd you get this video done so early, Civvie? Did you buy the premium collector's edition? Did you work some of that YouTube influencer magic? No, I bought it. See, they were selling the soundtrack, but the soundtrack comes with the WAD, so you get the WAD when you pay 6.66 euros, because of course you do. Me, on brand. Everybody else can wait until it's free on May 31st. I was gonna do that, but, you know, it's Sigil. So here we go. I just gotta enter my credit card information here. There we go. So Sigil ain't half bad. It has some problems. It's absolutely a dick in some places. I mean, come on, it's Romero.
Oh, not even real. Seriously?
There's two of these guys?
This decision to have all the maps end with this here instead of a switch confused me at the beginning, but since all the levels end like this, yeah, it's irritating at first. This end section of level 1 is just bad. The game is full of traps, and if you try to run through it and avoid fights, you will be punished. Here's the thing, I played through this twice, first on Ultraviolence, then on Hurt Me Plenty. I suggest everyone watching this start with Hurt Me Plenty. That part at the end of level 1, what a difference one Cacodemon makes. Sigil came with 2 different sets of music, the Buckethead soundtrack, which is high-quality instrumental. It's good, I like it. And also a MIDI soundtrack by James Paddock, which is also really good. Listen to it. How metal is this? Look at some of the names of these maps. Baphomet's Demence. I don't know what that word is, don't at me.
Domain. Domain. Domain.
Oh, fuck. Sheol. Cages of the Damned. Paths of Wretchedness. Abaddon's Void. Unspeakable Persecution. That's my favorite name out of the bunch. Truly an accurate moniker for... You guys notice I walked in and the sky went out? The levels are almost constantly engaging, throwing things at you left and right, using cyber demons as rocket turrets when you absolutely won't have the ammo to deal with them. Just like in E4M2 though, you can telefrag them if you're paying attention. And the cyber demons that you have to telefrag in the 2nd and 5th level only appear when you're playing on Ultraviolence or higher. This is meant to be pretty tough, and it is. And I was surprised at how well the Doom 1 monsters were used since there isn't a lot to work with. On Ultraviolence, you have to be very careful with resource management, and there are a few times you'll be stuck shotgunning Barons of Hell, though if you save your rockets and cells for them, say you have 2 or 3 Barons of Hell to deal with, you should be able to knock that down to 1 that you have to slow roll to death. On Hurt Me Plenty, it's a lot more forgiving, and you'll find yourself with enough rockets or cells to deal with the tougher enemies. This trap was a ball buster, but the feeling of being surprised, followed by panic, followed by 1 last-minute save because of a Berserk pack is quintessentially Doom. I don't really care for these crusher rooms. Like, you can avoid them here. There's enough room. If you keep your eyes open, you'll see where you can step and where you can't. See these places where there are monsters, the crushers aren't activated. I don't know how many crushers is too many, but that point is reached somewhere before however many this is. I stopped to take care of these monsters so I wouldn't get dead, and also I assume that as soon as I open this door, it's gonna cause me even more problems, so I kill the monsters and wait, and the door itself is set up to stall you so that you can't just run past the monsters. There are a lot of times where you will wake up monsters before they're triggered to teleport in, or their closet opens, meaning they'll be hunting you down in the map as soon as they're able to. Sigil has a deliberately oppressive atmosphere to it that I think works well most of the time. I don't even think you see daylight until the 3rd map. Now I want to talk about Sigil's visual design, which is for the most part striking and spectacular, shocking in what it's able to do with Doom's stock textures. You can really see the effort put into these maps, the detail, the attention paid to how encounters flow. Somebody gave John Romero Doom Builder and a limit removing port and he just went nuts, which is all we could really hope for. The cracks here are the biggest recurring motif, sometimes highlighting the edges of levels, sometimes in the floors or walls of dark areas to give you a better idea of the layout. It doesn't always work. Level 6 is way too goddamn dark, but I can easily see what Sigil is going for. You can still see the monsters in a lot of places, especially in the final area, because of their silhouettes against these bright environmental details. I'm torn on the lighting because on the one hand I want to see everything, but on the other, setting this to legacy or bright is too much and ruins the atmosphere for me, so it stays on true color software. There's this area that I didn't really care for, having a shotgun a couple barons. You should know going in that Ultraviolence isn't fucking around. There's 3 barons down there on Ultraviolence, and I had to shotgun them for the most part, but this was the only time I was really required to do that. Cacodemons, sure, I had to shotgun them all the time. The final fight was a bit of a letdown, a spider demon and a cyber demon. I had no real problem doing it since they jack you up with the soul sphere and Sigil tends to give you enough cell ammo in the last couple levels if you're actively looking for it. Anyway, yeah, extremely dark, which isn't too much of a problem most of the time if you're paying attention to sound and visuals. All that being said, I do have one major problem with Sigil, which is these eye triggers. I don't mind them being there since the very first level teaches you how they work without any ambiguity, and only like 1 or 2 of them were in irritating places I had to really search for. No, problem is that it seems like most of them have 2 triggers attached to them. One to access the next area, and another to close off the switch. Unfortunately, every now and then you might hit one of those triggers without hitting the other, which stops you dead in your tracks and breaks the game. This happened once during each of my playthroughs and is bullshit, but it's so easy to fix that I could do it. Overall, I like Sigil. It's mostly a good time and uses Doom 1 assets really well to create a darker and more sinister atmosphere than you'd see in the original Doom. The music certainly helps. How often does a game come with 2 good soundtracks? The pacing on Hurt Me Plenty is more old-school Doom, while Ultraviolence is absolutely ball-crushing. I mean, I have a theory, call it crackpot if you want, but hear me out. Just like me, you all got Sigil, you booted it up, and you went straight for Ultraviolence. Here's a fun fact about Doom levels. You can't actually place monsters and items differently on Nightmare compared to Ultraviolence, see? Romero's trolling us, because Hurt Me Plenty is way, way different. Night and day. Like, Hurt Me Plenty plays like a Doom episode. Ultraviolence starves you of resources to the point where you don't even have enough fucking radiation suits to get through hurt floors. There is a big difference between incompetent design and deliberate evil. John Romero played off of our hubris. There's irony in that, and you know what? I gotta respect it. It's a good burn. Shit like this is why John Romero is a legend. I'll tell you right now, I think Sigil's gonna be divisive. I'm gonna give it 8 Old English words I've never heard of out of 10. Somebody give Romero a copy of Trench Broom. Playing Plutonia is like being inside a Wicker Man. 32 maps, created by Milo and Dario Casali. Now that second name, that sounds familiar. Where have I seen that before?
The Black Mesa compound is maintained at a pleasant 68 degrees at all times.
That's moving up in the world. They both have a long and well-earned history in game design now. Plutonia was created by these two in about 4 months as part of Final Doom. Isn't that cute? The other half being TNT, which we're not playing right now. I don't even want to play it in general. It's not nearly as hard as Plutonia. It's just really, really long and full of huge labyrinthine maps, and about when I get to map 21, I just zone out. Final Doom was released in 1996, and it was mind-blowing to have 2 whole new campaigns to play through. But Plutonia is mostly small maps you can finish in about 5 to 10 minutes. It's just infamous for being, at that point, one of the hardest map sets ever created. By today's standards, it's nothing. See, people make WADs all the time now that are unrelentingly difficult because everybody's had 25 years to get good. I tell you what though, we may never have gotten good without the Plutonia experiment. Of Doom, Doom 2, and Final Doom, Plutonia is my favorite. Here's the story. After the events of Doom 2, the government decided to try to prevent further demonic invasions, and so they refounded the UAC and started making these quantum accelerator devices which magically shut down demon portals when they try to invade. You guys all know what a quantum accelerator is, right? It worked when one portal opened, and then the demons just decided to open 7 portals instead. That's a good metaphor for Plutonia. When one doesn't work, send more. And you were on leave a few minutes away on the beach. You suited up, you grabbed a pistol, you raced your pickup truck to the complex. You know that within an hour or two, an entire division of Marines will arrive to assault the base with full artillery and air support. You also know that they'll be too late. Far too late. So I assume this takes place in Africa. The first level is called Congo, and in this one level, you're gonna learn pretty quickly that Plutonia is here to brutalize you. Any other start map in Doom up to this point took it easy on the player. The strongest monster you'd usually see is a pinky or maybe like a chain gunner. Not Congo. You start off getting assaulted by a half-dozen shotgunners. There's a bunch of gear upstairs, armor, a backpack, ammo, and you're gonna need it, because this map is a sick wake-up call for casual Doom players. Walk through this hallway and there's chain gunners up there. So you kill them. You go upstairs, you hear a door open. Okay, sure, so... Oh, fuck. This is where Plutonia introduces you to one of its favorite tricks, which is using archviles to resurrect dead enemies. In this case, this chain gunner, over and over, until you nail the archvile. And at this point, I have a shotgun and a chain gun. I haven't gotten the rocket launcher yet. You want to see how you get the rocket launcher? Technically, this rocket launcher is optional. You're still gonna need it, because there's 3 Mancubi guarding the exit along with chain gunners. Okay, so how about the super shotgun? That's 2 archviles in the first level. Plutonia is infamous for cruel and unusual traps, and while I can't hit every single one of them in this video, we're gonna see about highlighting several that are just... I haven't done the calculations to support this. It's more of a gut feeling that's probably true. There are more revenants in Plutonia than there are imps. There might be more revenants in Plutonia than there are stars in the sky. Every level exit is what I assumed was always one of these quantum accelerators. They all look the same. Remember this, because the game's gonna try and trick you later with fake switches or teleport exits that just fill the room with revenants or whatever. The second map, Well of Souls, it still doesn't see Plutonia reaching its full power. I mean, yeah, it's hard. It opens with chain gunner ambushes just to make sure it has your full attention. One of the first rooms is what I like to call a nope room. Nope. And the end of this map will absolutely turn any casual player away. I remember the first time playing as a wee lad and thinking, what the fuck is this? I was a vulgar child, but I grew out of that shit. So this is an invisible bridge. It's done somehow, I don't know. The only way you'll know it's there is you gotta shoot a console, not a switch. But these wooden blocks raised to show you where it is. Sure, but here's all the other stuff happening during this. Aztec, level 3, I'd say we're about 60% of the way to full Plutonia here, but only because of this one room. I didn't even start taking notes yet while playing. Towards the end, you step on a bridge and get railed by 4 chain gunners and 2 revenants. Oh, come on! Level 4 is Caged, which is pretty reminiscent to the abandoned mines in Doom 2. It's harder, sure, it uses misdirection to think you gotta deal with these chain gunners here, and then it throws 3 Hell Knights at you. Is that it? I'm just not feeling it yet. Then comes Ghost Town. Ghost Town is the first 100% full-on Plutonia map. God help the masochistic bastards who pistol start these levels. I hope you go to QuakeCon next year, you go up to like the hottest cosplay chick you can find, you get right in her ear, you say, I pistol started all of Plutonia on Ultraviolence, and she jumps on your dick right there. Look at the start of this. You get 2 chain gunners, not too bad. All you got is a shotgun, and then 2 barons, and a revenant on each side. Oh yeah, and inescapable deadly water. Plutonia has some strange rules about damaging liquids, in that slime sometimes damages, same with toxic waste or blood, but also water hurts. It's really inconsistent. As soon as you exit the starting area, you got 10 chain gunners all out for blood. Not even the worst part of this map. Not even close. There's a megasphere over there and I'm saving it because there's 2 more parts to this level and they're both cruel and unusual. First, you have to get a key, of course, and as soon as you approach... Yup. But also... Did you think that was it? Oh yeah, that's it. Harder, Derek, harder. Okay, so that was awful. What's next? Two archviles, 4 barons of hell, and 1 archvile that can't actually go anywhere? This right here is the first true Plutonia map, in my opinion. The one that solidifies the burning sensation you get when attempting to play this. Level 6 is Baron's Lair, not to be confused with Baron's Den. This one is way shorter. There's a secret with a bunch of supplies I'm gonna need for the next level. This map isn't too bad. It's not like the last one in terms of cruelty. We're still fairly early into Plutonia. You meet your first cyber demon of the game here, before being able to get to the next level, which is the Dead Simple replacement, and is way harder than that, just... Plutonia is really generous with rockets, especially if you're not pistol starting. Thank fucking God, because it might replace the shotgun for usefulness. If you're close enough into a horde of monsters in this game to use the super shotgun, you might already be dead. Level 8 is called Realm, and it's notable for 2 awful, awful traps. One where you get in the blue key, naturally, and this shit happens. And then at the end where... You know what? I'm not sure it's enough. 2 archviles and 8 revenants. I'm not sure it's evil enough to put right in front of the level exit, you I've played this, I knew it was coming, so I saved this berserk over here. Level 9, Abattoir, which is spelled wrong. Yeah, you go get him, Mr. Pinky. I believe in you. Now I'm bored. Suck my infinitely tall shaft to splash damage, you fucking boners. Oh, what's that? I'm being told we've just won the most phallic line ever in a YouTube show award. I'm also being told that that's a thing, and yeah, look at that. I guess you guys can't see that, but I promise you it's shaped like a penis. The end of this map was one of the most difficult parts I had to deal with. And don't talk to me about infighting. That's for later. Right now, these two can't even hit each other. Oh yeah, this is the onslaught. Did you like that thing in the first map with the Archvile resurrecting the chain gunner forever? Because now there's two of them. You can't kill them until the game teleports them out of there. There's like a dozen chain gunners. That's not even remotely the worst part of this map. Because when you teleport those Archviles away, one goes over here, and you can't go get that key yet because that teleports in the other monsters, and no matter how much infighting they do, the Archvile is going to respawn them. And the other one spawns in this building, and he resurrects the chain gunners from before. Okay, killed them, bottlenecked the rest. We done here? The exit room is, mwah. It's a masterclass in being an asshole designer. You walk over here, a closet opens, a Baron pops out, you're boxed in because a bunch of Hell Knights and one shotgunner, also pop out. The monster closet wasn't close enough, so the map teleports the Baron right in your face. This right here is what gotta do the job at Valve. Next up, oh boy, it's the second most infamous level in Plutonia, Hunted. You, a bunch of Archviles, a maze, the bunny music. I played this as a child and it gave me nightmares that I remember to this day. There's coffins at the beginning to give you an idea of your chances. You aren't allowed much in the way of mistakes. I got hit once and I had to tough it out for the rest of the level. At least at the end you get a BFG and a selection of 1 of 2 portals. One portal goes to the exit, the other goes into this room, which doesn't kill you. It just does the thing, like at the end of Knee Deep in the Dead, where you can just exit hitting low health. If you want to get 100% kills in this level, you have to take that exit. Isn't that awesome? Bullshit. Blood and Wood. Again, this one's not really too challenging until you get to the end where you're getting sniped by a dozen chain gunners and then it rolls out the Revenants and the Archviles. Are you kids sensing a pattern here? There's a cyber demon too, but he's not really a problem. The blood doesn't hurt you in this level. The crypt is... Oh, we're already onto this? Yup, I'm making fun of these traps, sure. You gotta remember Plutonia has some fantastic action in it. A lot better than Doom 2, in my opinion. It just shows such a deep understanding of the monster's abilities and how they can best fuck over the player. Especially with Archviles. Especially with Archviles. Ooh, and the bite-sized levels make the whole thing a lot more palatable. The next map, Genesis, small but also ferocious. Yeah, you know it's coming, but still. The Twilight is one of those Plutonia maps that sticks in your mind. It's, emotionally devastating. This map is like the end of Telltale's first Walking Dead season. It makes me cry like a fucking baby every time. You remember our old friend Hidden Archvile that keeps resurrecting chain gunners? He's back. I'm pinned down right here basically at the start, getting chain gunned, everywhere getting chain gunned. Take a left here, you'll walk into a trap. Take a right and you'll walk into a worse trap. The chain gunners are nice enough to kill these cacodemons, but I'd prefer if they'd just stay dead. Wall opens up to give you a spider demon and, you know, just all this. I'm just gonna hang back, not waste rockets or cells. Not like there's a shortage of bullet pickups. Once you cross a certain line, Crushers will kill the Archviles that keep reviving the chain gunners, and you're basically at the end of the level. Yup, that sure is the end of the level. That's the exit I'm taking. Pay no attention to how I have all these rockets now, it doesn't matter. Another short map with... Oh, this one. Oof. Not cool. The next trap is kind of fun, though. You pick up the key and... Oh, that's the stuff. Then it teleports an Archvile into that area, which isn't the stuff and isn't cool. Next map is relatively easy, except for all that slime. And the map after that isn't. Neurosphere is kind of like the Inmost Dens, except harder. It starts off teleporting hit scanners all around you, good luck. Next map is NME. No, thankfully not that one. You don't need a ton of enemies to be difficult, just inescapable pits and no room to maneuver. The Archvile teleports away. I forgot to hit this switch here and oh, sweet Jesus! No, this thing with chain gunners right at the start, it's not getting old at all, no. Oh boy, it's just like Circle of Death, except harder. No, fuck you! Yeah, not so much an impossible mission. Not even as impossible as, like, most of the earlier maps. To be honest, Plutonia gets soft towards the end. Maybe I'm just acclimated to its treachery. This is one of the bigger maps that has a lot of backtracking. I don't really like it. Another giant one, but much, much harder. Finally, we're back to that nice feeling of punishment. Man, I remember when Doom 2 threw 2 Archviles at you that one time. Not all that much to talk about for a while. This next map is like the living end from Doom 2, and then a couple maps later is the same thing. Plutonia's running out of steam. Spare this one area where you got a cyber demon wrecking you all the way over here, and when you try to flank the bastard, everything's in your way. What else we got? A lot of these later maps are more of the same. There's the sewers. Another giant pain in the ass, but manageable. I'm surprised there's a sewer level this far into the game. Map 29 picks up the slack, Odyssey of Noises, an out-of-nowhere city level that's probably better than any Doom 2 city level. It's a little confusing to navigate, has a lot of dead space where nothing happens, and monsters and windows, especially chain gunners. Thankfully, I have 1,000,000 rockets. You guys don't want to see me getting lost for 20 minutes trying to find the key to hit a switch to open a door, so let's just go straight to the gateway of hell. Yeah, I already knew this was coming. Still an awesome way to introduce the Icon of Sin again. And honestly, better than Doom 2's last level. A cyber demon stands between you and pumping the demon wall full of rockets. I got extremely lucky. No pain elementals or archviles spawned. 3 good hits and the game's over. The gatekeeper's evil face is splattered all over the place. As its tattered corpse collapses, an inverted gate forms and sucks down the shards of the last prototype accelerator, not to mention the few remaining demons. You're done. Hell has gone back to pounding bad dead folks. Katie, get me a picture of a demon banging Hitler. Yeah, okay, that's fair. And in what I consider to be the baddest thing ever put into a Doom end text, remember to tell your grandkids to put a rocket launcher in your coffin. If you go to hell when you die, you'll need it for some final cleanup. I know it's not that impressive of an ending for something as infamous as Plutonia. That's why I saved the secret levels for last. It's easy enough to find the secret exit in the Twilight. Like, it's not even hidden well. You just hit this wall, you take this teleporter, and you're done. Just understand that this is a one-way ticket. You can exit the first secret level of Doom 2 or TNT, go right back to the main game, but you can't do that in Plutonia. You found the second hardest level we got. Hope you have a saved game a level or two previous. Oh yeah, a level or two. How about a room or two? This is fucking Plutonia. If not, be prepared to die aplenty for Master Marines only. Cyberden. Oh yeah, 4 cyber demons, all caged, fought one at a time. You gotta hit these face wall switches to release each one. I don't know if it's the second hardest level. Taking one cyber demon at a time isn't so bad. The last part, though, remember when I said to be suspicious of exits that don't look like this? Yeah, fuck you, skeletons, you ain't shit! The exit will take you directly to the super secret level. Bet you wondered what was the hardest level we had ready for you. Now you know. No one gets out alive. Welcome to the most infamous level in Plutonia. This time, they're not lying about how hard it is. Witness. Be amazed. The hardest level in any commercially released Doom game. The Titan. The birth of the slaughter map. Rooms full of archviles, chain gunners, revenants, a bastardized version of the layout from Doom 2's first map, packed to the brim with only the most dangerous monsters. There are 13 cyber demons in this level, 19 archviles, 11 pain elementals, nearly 50 revenants, a courtyard that gets filled with monsters when you do so much as sneeze. But just run away from them and let them infight for a while. They'll usually thin the herd down if you kill all the archviles. You leave those archviles alive, they'll make your life miserable. Fuck the Icon of Sin. This should have been the last map. Nothing else comes close. Well, mission accomplished. This is how legends are made. Huh. TNT or Doom 64. Two console games in a row? What happened to you, Civvie? You used to be cool. I was never cool. We're not playing on a Nintendo 64 emulator anyway, we're using Doom 64 EX, because of course we are. I thought about getting one of those USB N64 controllers, but you know, the N64 controller, even if you're playing something as simple as Doom, is not ideal. Mouse and keyboard does make it a little easier. I've played it on an N64 in the past. Doom 64 is still a Doom game, and most of the old rules still apply. You move a little bit slower, the lighting is different, and has cool color effects. There's texture filtering if you're playing on the N64 or in an emulator, but I turned that off because it's hideous. That being said, a little of the magic is lost with the higher resolution and modern hardware. Everything is brighter and less muddy than if you were playing it on a CRT TV in the 90s. It doesn't totally ruin the atmosphere, but you guys should be aware. Oh, yeah, and the music. That was done by a man named Aubrey Hodges, and it's not the metal riffs and samples from the Alien soundtrack you're used to. Gives the whole thing an eerie feeling that was really only available for PlayStation Doom at the time, because Aubrey Hodges also did the music and sound effects for that, and the sound effects are pretty much the same. The imp doesn't sound like a camel anymore, that's cool. It looks so different, right? Different enemy sprites, different textures, different sounds. We're not waiting for the official release in March as a pre-order bonus for Doom Eternal, and I assume it'll also be sold separately later. I expect they're not that different. It's Kaiser via Night Dive, right? Kaiser made this fantastic port here that I only found like one bug in. That's not even bad, I think that's just an issue with the texture itself. Doom 64 wasn't developed by id, but instead by Midway Games, with the working title of The Absolution. I kinda wish Nintendo wasn't shoehorning the number 64 into their games at the time. Firstly, it made it seem like Doom 64 was just a straight port to the console, which is what I thought it was for most of my life. I ended up playing it in college and I was like, what the fuck is this? No, seriously, what the fuck is this? What is this? The game was overlooked, probably because people thought the same thing, and calling it Doom the Absolution might have helped with that. It's a badass title, right? People argue that this is the real Doom 3, not that slow, dark, technologically impressive game that's actually okay for the most part, but has a terrible shotgun. Nah, this one, when it hit in 1997, it wasn't received as well. It was seen as just another Doom game coming after 3D had already taken over the FPS genre with Quake, but more importantly on the N64, GoldenEye. Don't get me wrong, GoldenEye is fine. It's very nice for what it is, and the auto-aim where you see the gun moving and you don't have to wrangle so much with this torturous thing. The Tommy Wiseau of gaming controllers, and that it's inarguably terrible but has some kind of alien charm to it. I don't see it. Oh yeah, and a few weeks before Doom 64 came out, you got Turok to sort of show up and steal its thunder. Wow, it's so weird to say a sentence like that without mentioning Half-Life. It's still Doom to the core, and it's a damn fine game. Probably a better experience nowadays than Ultimate Doom and most of Doom 2, and not as brutally hard as Plutonia. It's visually different, the monsters have all been redesigned, zombie-men and shotgunners use the same sprites now, but that's not really important since I shoot on sight anyway. Imps are gray and come in two flavors, normal and the Nightmare Imp, who's transparent and has a purple projectile that's faster than the normal one. Pink demons look similar, specters have a different transparency effect now that can make them harder to see. Hell Knights are back, again, similar looking, Barons join them and not only have red coloring, but red projectiles. Considering all the colored lighting in this game, it's important to be able to tell. Cacodemons are kind of funny looking and they have arms with chains on them for some reason. Pain elementals are horrifying and have two mouths now, and I don't understand why anyone would do something that hideously evil. No, seriously, why would you do something like that, you absolute bastards? Mancubi return, Arachnotrons, the old cyber demon. Most of Doom's monsters were made from physical models and then digitally captured. These look like they were made from digital 3D models and then captured, so they have this kind of pre-rendered sheen all over them that I guess isn't bad. All the sprites are higher resolution, which is nice. And that's all of them. Did you notice any monsters missing? Well, there's only so much space on the Nintendo 64 cart because Nintendo didn't want to move on to discs for another generation. I think carts were cheaper to produce. Maybe? I don't know. I can tell you that having only one sprite for the Zombie Man and Shotgunner are probably because of that. Also the exclusion of other monsters. Spider Mastermind? Gone. Chain Gunner? Gone. Revenant? Gone, but not forgotten, we'll talk about it. The Archvile? Super gone. I can only imagine the nightmares he'd give me if he was in this game. But they kept the Pain Elemental? That would have been my first cut. The weapons are all basically the same with one addition. We'll get to that one. Oh boy, that's the fun one. The chainsaw now has 2 blades and kills extra quick, possibly too quick, and maybe starting the trend of OP chainsaws in Doom games. The pistol is unchanged, it might be a little faster, I don't know, I never use it. The shotgun and super shotgun have no extra frames for pumping or reloading, maybe related to cart space, and have suitably meaty sounds. The impact of the super shotgun on the pink demons in this game, in my opinion, feels better than in any of the previous entries. I think it's the higher resolution sprites, and the way the blood pours out of its face, it's cool, I like it. Good job, Midway. The chain gun has gotten an upgrade, fires significantly faster and has better sound, even if it's the pistol sound still. The rocket launcher is basically the same except for the addition of some kickback, which we'll discuss very soon. The plasma gun fires slower but does a bit more damage. The BFG seems weaker to me. I don't know. And the final one we'll talk about when we get it because the designers made sure to make it special. Story goes, you are still Doom Guy. The classified archives are opened. The military episodes, codenamed Doom, were not actually completed. A single entity with vast rejuvenation powers, masked by the extreme radiation levels, escaped detection. In its crippled state, it systematically altered decaying dead carnage back into corrupted living tissue. The mutations are devastating. The demons have returned even stronger and more vicious than before. As the only experienced survivor of the Doom episode, your commission is reactivated. Your assignment is clear. Merciless extermination. Cool. It's a little darker than it used to be. You start off at the staging area. You get accustomed to the look of the game, how colorful yet still unsettling it all is. Pretty quickly, you'll have a shotgun and a chainsaw. Find the chainsaw in a secret. It's right here. And a ton of demons to kill that creamy Doom goodness. Fantastic. Hope you find all the secrets. So back in the day, I don't know how anyone knew how to do this before internet access was widespread. Maybe in their Nintendo Power magazines they were able to read, yeah, so to get this you have to shoot all the explosive barrels in the level, but not this one here first. I know it's right there, but you're going to want to wait on it until you destroy the others, because there's one in the exit room, and once you blow up the very last one, a wall lowers temporarily to show you a teleporter in a room behind the starting area, and you walk into this unmarked teleporter and it takes you to Hectic. I would say that Hectic is a dick in the eye for any first-time player, but first-time players never found this. I didn't know about it until I saw a thing online about a decade after the game came out. And whatever it was, it didn't tell me not to try over and over to get these cool power-ups. Fuck Hectic. The only real benefit I can see in this map is being able to get the rocket launcher early, which is the first thing you should pick up in this level anyway, because you won't get far without it. It'll drop you right into this room with 3 arachnotrons where you'll have to run for it. Each section of Hectic has a key and a trap. I suppose the trap right here with the darts is the least evil of these. Oh wait, did I mention arachnotrons shoot 2 plasma shots at a time now? They're a bit weaker than the shots in the PC version, but still. Not the worst part, no, that would be this here. Doom 64 has some kind of scripting system that previous games didn't have, and it allows for some traps and level alteration that wasn't possible before except maybe in Hexen. This looks fine, right? Until the bridge lowers into an inescapable pit and the walls drop to hit you with 4 Hell Knights. Just shoot them with the rocket launcher, right? Ah, but the rocket launcher has kickback now, and you're on a narrow ledge. This is Hectic's worst trap. So what is the point of Hectic? Just the rocket launcher? It actually unlocks some hidden challenge levels that you can warp to from the menu. We'll do them later, I promise. Back to regular levels, you won't be seeing Hell Knights for a while, and Arachnotrons for even longer. This is the Terraformer, and Doom 64 is a little less focused on making abstract levels than Doom or Doom 2. There's cool stuff. This pounding machine here that opens the next part of the level. This room here shows off how cool the lighting effects can be. I haven't played Doom 64 nearly as much as the others, even Doom 3. I was late to the party, but what are you gonna do? My limited participation in the console war sent me towards the PlayStation over the N64. Look at this chain gun though. Purple muzzle flash? Why not? I'm not even sure the color purple appeared in the Doom palette originally. Oh no, wait, there's some. The first 8 maps take place in an abandoned base on Phobos. They're not bad, they're fine, pretty good. In map 3 you get introduced to the cacodemons. On this skill, the hardest that was available on the N64, and what I would guess is the equivalent to ultraviolence, you face not 1, not 2, not 3, not even 5, but 8 cacodemons. Oh yeah, let's go. You'll meet Lost Souls too, who seem more aggressive this time around and have less health. You can take them down with one single shotgun blast. There are lots of them in this game, especially later. The first maps aren't really as interesting as the ones that come after, until you get to map 4, Holding Area, which contains a secret exit, with this switch puzzle that requires you to hit them in the correct sequence to raise these platforms or else get locked out of access to the secret level. Glad I'm not using the memory card saves or the password system, which was included in this PC port, I assume for total accuracy. It's a nice touch, even if I can't ever imagine using it. Remember how I said I haven't played Doom 64 as much? I didn't even know the Unmaker was in this level. That's why there's an ish in the title of this video. I knew about the demon key, obviously. You'll need that. You will need that. You have to do some switch puzzles in this area in order to access it, and the level text at the beginning hints to the presence of something important in this level. That's the demon key, not the Unmaker, since the first demon key is only here. Look at this pre-mission text, so much shorter and more to the point than the ones in vanilla Doom games. Pick up a rocket launcher too, since you got a bunch of mancubi to deal with. This is a secret level, they're not pulling any punches, as it should be. The exit is locked behind a yellow key door that's right behind where you start. You could go through this whole level and exit without even getting the demon key, same in the other secret levels, but you're gonna want it. You'll see. Eventually, you'll get to the map Final Outpost. I had to do this a few times because I didn't save often enough. The earlier parts of the game are pretty easy, but once you cross this room, slay the Nightmare Imps, the Hell Knights, the Barons, and enter the portal to Hell, you cackle as the familiarity of the situation occurs to you. The gateway to the demon's domain was too accessible. I don't know about that. That was like 3 times the opposition I had to deal with last time I was on Phobos. You realize the demons mock you with their invitation. It does not matter. The demons spawn like rats, and you have the grade AAA UAC poison they crave. And all the whores and politicians will look up and shout and say, Doom Guy's a little edgier this time around. Honestly, the backstory has him having like hell PTSD that couldn't be treated. I get it. It's still a little heavy for a Doom game, even if a significant amount of the population of Earth got killed in Doom 2. I feel like this is a natural midpoint between grinning lunatic Doom Guy avenging his pet rabbit and rampaging anger golem Doom Guy in Doom 2016. Anyway, that's the stuff. The title card isn't a gag either. The level is called Even Simpler, and is much harder than the original Dead Simple. You might think, oh, I kill these here mancubi and the wall's open. Nah, get ready for an all-out assault from cacodemons and Hell Knights. You're gonna be seeing a lot more traps from here on in. A lot more, tricks also. The updates to the engine and the scripting allowed for more complex ways to surprise the player. I'm not complaining. They're doomy while also being kind of fun and creative and not just lowering a wall to throw 100 monsters at you. Next up, the bleeding. The bleeding. Most of this game takes place in Hell, which is a nice change of pace and an opportunity to cram as many ridiculous map titles in there as possible. We've got such hits as
Terror Core, Altar of Pain, Dark Citadel, Dark Entries, Blood Keep.
Blood Keep, a keep of blood.
Spawned Fear, Burnt Offerings, Unholy Temple.
All good stuff, very spooky. The atmosphere in these Hell levels was the best ever done on the old engine before like source port enhancements. But no, back to the bleeding. Bleeding. Now, this one's cool because you get the BFG. Hit this guy right here and this platform lowers enough for you to get to the BFG, and then It works a little different from the insane hack-together behavior of the original. As I understand it, it damages monsters in like a cone-shaped area within the player's field of view after hitting. It just seems like it's doing less damage than it normally would with the original tracers from PC Doom. Ah well, I'd be upset if we didn't get the Unmaker later. I want to mention how awesome the skies look in this game. Complete with the parallax scrolling and lighting effects, good stuff. Next up is Terror Core, which is a fine level, but also so forgettable in comparison to later maps that I didn't write anything in the script about it. It's not bad, but when you have so many hell levels, some of them start to run together, you know, castle structure surrounded by water. Oh yeah, and fucking hordes of monsters. I'm down, I'm game, let's party. Altar of Pain is one of the best levels in the game, a standout, cool layout, ascending this citadel that actually resembles a citadel, and this is where I first got the Unmaker. You don't find it often, like 3 times in the entire game. For some reason, it runs off of cell ammo, acts like a laser, and is decent at killing monsters. I remember the first time I got it, I wasn't impressed. Oh, look, a laser. Wow. What the blank is this? I don't know, that's only 3 characters, so it's not fuck. Is it ass? You probably didn't have to censor ass. I know it's a Nintendo. Did you not have enough space on the cart for an extra character? Another secret level exit is here too. After you're done in this room, you'll notice a platform here is raised and you can actually jump on there to get a soul sphere. If you continue straight ahead through a fake wall, kill a baron, you'll find the secret exit. Marked with this image of the demon key you'll need to get in the next level. I say need, but you don't need to get it. You really should though. Arachnotrons and nightmare imps, oh my, and shooting switches to lower this... Wait a minute, what is this 3D floor shit right here? This can be seen every now and then, and for the life of me, I don't know how this was done in this version of the engine. Sure, in GZ Doom, you can just do this with a dummy sector, and you can tag it, and bam, 3D floor. It doesn't really matter. Though you might notice the Unmaker shoots 2 lasers out now and eats twice the ammo. It's a bit powerful. Dark Citadel is like the point of no return in this game, when it really starts going all out on you. Waves of monsters, and a lot less ammo than usual for your energy weapons. You still have the super shotgun and the souped up chain gun. You're gonna be doing the Hell Noble dance a lot. Dark Citadel is full of traps. This hellish room with the blue key, this enormous area full of cacodemons and later barons. Save this invincibility here if you suck at video games. Eye of the Storm is another cool castle level. It's fun. I don't have that much to say about it, to be honest. It's got that imagery of Doom 64 that always stuck in my head with the sky, the water, the architecture. When I think Doom 64, this is generally the positive image that comes into my head. Overall, it gets a little repetitive sometimes, though in general, Doom 64 does okay with the limited monster variety, except in the next level. The next level can get in trouble with the mob and end up trapped in a barrel of acid with its family wondering where it went and why it's not home for Christmas dinner. Remember how they took Revenants out of the game? They didn't take them out all the way. It looks like it's the same sprites as the Mancubus attack, repurposed and homing, and fired way more than a Revenant would ever fire them from turrets in the wall, from everywhere, in the fucking start room. Oh, this is bullshit! Hardest level? Yeah, I think so. Mostly because of this courtyard here that's absolutely crawling with monsters. And I think it's only feasible to kill them all before going inside to get the full health and armor. This part might be the roughest time I had in the game. It seems so closed off, and the player is a little slower than in previous games, and there's arachnotrons. Oh, it's a pain. And you still have to go back to the start room with the homing fireball turrets. Jesus. Bloodkeep, it's fine. A little heavy on the cacodemons, still good. Fun level. Kind of trash ending here with the lost souls and the floor falling out from under you. Doom 64 is less inclined to give you a way out of pits than the originals, which is worse than in previous games because this was designed to be played without mid-level saves. If you died in the last room, you had to go do the level over. I actually have played most of this game on an N64 with a memory card. I actually remember making it to the spiral before the memory card got lost. What the hell, it wasn't even my N64. Anyway, now it's time for Watch Your Step. No, I don't think I will. This map introduces you to the Cyber Demon, and since we're on the highest skill it was designed for, we get 2 of them. So the Unmaker is a bit overpowered. There's this weird wall shooting puzzle that opens secret rooms with the health and armor that requires some playing with teleporters. I mean, I recommend doing it, but okay. Doom 64 has less environmental hazards than you'd expect. They're usually more purposeful, less incidentally placed into the level. You have pools of lava that seem to actually be burning. Ooh. The third and final secret exit can be found by walking towards the regular one and listening for an opening door that you have to run to access one of the harder levels in the void. And it was really strange to see this kind of level originally. A lot of pain elementals spawning far away, a sense of 3D space that up to this point was completely alien to a Doom game. Getting the demon key is even more of a pain because it's on a timer, you have to hit a switch, watch it disappear. Know that you have to run across the level and then a step race so that you can get into this area and get the demon key and then exit, because exiting is jumping off into the void itself, which is, okay, sure. Now that you have the third demon key, the Unmaker is 50% more overpowered. This one's a bloodbath. It's short, too. There's this... oh, Jesus. Before that, there's lots to deal with. This one I wouldn't want a pistol start. By this point, I'd accumulated plenty of rockets, which is good because I use most of them in this level. What is happening? I don't... What... It's shaking. Oh no. Please no. Good map. Kinda reminds me of the Living End from Doom 2 at the beginning before you get to the maze. You start to notice Doom 64's trick where the level starts shifting to give you access to new areas. It's cool. And if you get overwhelmed, you just hit the Unmaker button. An Arachnotron-heavy level with a dark sky, with flames, moody, filled with traps. The secret one here. I'm a PC player and I'm ready for this kind of crusher dickery. I'd just like to take a moment to point out how awesome this game looks sometimes. Okay, moment over. This part, I can't exactly explain it. I think what's happening here is a script that raises these walls really fast in order to make it look like the walls are moving towards you. Probably works better if I turn the frame rate cap on, but I'm not doing that. Reminiscent of Altar of Pain, except I hate it. Half the time you round a corner on this building, the level fires homing missiles at you. There's a lot of monsters. There's a kind of dumb switch hunt where you have to get all the keys before opening the other areas that lead to the other unnecessary switches that'll open the exit. It's not the worst. No escape. That title is a lie, especially if you have it powered up on Maker. Otherwise, I can understand why it might be a problem. A bunch of cyber demons stand between you and the end, which triggers when you kill the last one instead of having a real exit. Then it's time for the Absolution. Doom 64 has a unique final boss, the Mother Demon, who was behind the demon resurrection that kicked off the whole game in the first place. She's got some nasty attacks, and there's these 3 infinite monster closets spawning demons. It's not even remotely hard, and I knock it out in less than a minute. And thus, Doom Guy stays in hell to make sure no other demons rise again. And in the minds of Doom conspiracy theorists, this is the part where Doom 2016 picks up if you ignore all that Argent and Earth stuff, which none of this makes sense. Roll the extra levels. For some reason, I still have my inventory from the last level, even though I warped here. This is a small maze with some imps in cages and a cyber demon chasing you around, occasionally teleporting. It's pretty basic and just included as a challenge level. No big deal. Hardcore. Maybe by the standards of 1997. A lot of Mancubi, followed by a lot of Arachnotrons. To be honest, these first 2 levels didn't even kill me, even if they keep teleporting things around. Come on. Okay, this one killed me. I mean, it's not quite as hard as hardcore, I just got caught off guard by these goddamn arachnotrons. I had to come back to it in pistol start and rocket tool a cyber demon. Lame. Followed by a bunch of mancubi. Once you're done with that, you'll be sent back to level 1, and you can experience the magic all over again. That was cool. Obviously not as well known or well regarded as the others, but it deserves a place in the Doom series, and really only recently has gotten the recognition it deserves. Now it's been rediscovered and is slated for a proper re-release, even if it was delayed. I wasn't gonna wait until March to do this video, for fuck's sake. It just makes me so mad that console gamers got a good experience with a Doom port. You know, I actually don't care. Man, for all the stupid crap that Bethesda does, so much that y'all have something in your head right now, and even if you're watching this after Starfield comes out, I bet you have something even newer. Bethesda doing stupid things is an evergreen joke. But there is one area where Bethesda has been not just good, but kind of amazing. Even all the way back in 2010, when this all-new Doom episode was released, only on Xbox. That has since been rectified, and you can get it practically anywhere. You can get it practically anywhere in 2010 also, because people picked the wad out of the release and they just put it up online, so you could play it other places like anywhere but the fucking Xbox. Oh yes, Xbox exclusivity was a dumb thing that didn't last very long. No Rest for the Living was developed by Nerve Software, former members of Rogue, standby port makers for all sorts of id Tech properties, and the cursed Randy version of Duke 3D, but I try not to hold that against them. And Bethesda had them make this new episode for Doom 2, 16 years after release, that I'm convinced is an almost perfect episode. Like, I can't believe it's as good as it is. And that's a running theme among the Bethesda re-release expansions. They don't have to include giant chunks of new content, but they did in the Quake remaster, and they did for the Xbox 360 release of Doom. And instead of releasing a new episode for the modern Bethesda port of Doom, they just let you download a selection of fan add-ons, and really good ones at that. They've even brought in Sigil. Bethesda may have its problems, but it's been treating Doom very, very well. No doubt, in part because of the success of 2016 and Eternal. And I slept on it. I played it in 2010, and you know, that was 12 years ago, so I don't remember it so good. Playing it again, I think it can be argued that it's the best Doom expansion. So what makes this so good? Let's run through it, kids. You can tell pretty much as soon as this starts that this isn't a quick cash grab or a sloppy thrown together expansion. The designers cared about what they were making, and No Rest for the Living makes that very clear from the first frame of gameplay. It looks like Doom, yeah, except just a little more detailed. Maybe even detailed enough to require a limit-removing port, like one of those modern add-ons that fans would make. Yeah, it's still using those Doom textures that were made, oh my god, some of them were made 30 fucking years ago. But it looks great. The detail isn't over the top or obstructive. Not even the best part of this, only the cherry on top. See, I've wanted to make a No Rest for the Living episode for a while, but you know, I got distracted by shiny things and slopjank, and I got so burned out by Doom Eternal that I haven't made a Doom video in a really long time. I still have a pistol, which isn't great when imps show up. As you go through the entryway to this area, there's a red key, you can see it, and you need it. A hallmark of good Doom design is putting a carrot on a stick somewhere you can't quite reach to get you to go looking for it. I can't believe I skipped this little closet with a shotgun in it. Oh, what's that, some demons? And a window showing me the blue key? And a computer area map. Carrot and stick, kids. On my way to finding these keys, I encounter your normal starting enemies, and chain gunners, but not a sadistic amount of chain gunners. I get through the red key door first, look to my right, and hey, there's a blue key. I look to my left, yellow key door. Across this very distinct outdoor area, there's a switch also marked with the yellow key textures. You have to go through here to get to the blue key. Oh, wait a minute. I want that map. Now I have it, and the blue key, and a door I couldn't get through earlier, but I could still see through. It connects back to the room with the red key door, down the hall from the blue key door, but you remember that yellow key? You should, but you don't actually need it to exit the level. You can tell because the exit door is here and the yellow key door is suspiciously also here. But you didn't see a yellow key anywhere, that's weird, right? Since the level designer went through the effort of showing you both of the other keys before you got them, there must be something real special behind those doors. Near the exit room, there's this door I can't open, but while I'm running around nearby, I hear a door open. I didn't hear it before because I was distracted by an arachnotron, not usually put into the first map of an episode, not usually something you'd have to take out without a super shotgun or a rocket launcher. But this was released 16 years on from Doom 2 and isn't fucking around with its difficulty. It's no Plutonia, usually, but it gives the player a healthy challenge if they're looking for it. So let's go looking for it. Outside that door is some imps, but what's this misaligned texture? Oh crap. A Hell Knight, I think, is a fairly difficult Doom monster to throw at you when you've only got a shotgun. No, I haven't gone into the secret yet to get the chain gun. What do we have as a reward for that? A chainsaw. Not bad. Also, a window overlooking a previous area to orient us. But where's that damn yellow key? Oh god, Mancubus's Mancubi? First level? Rough? Not really. You have adequate cover and plenty of health. This is the first level after all. But there's more. Where is that damn yellow key? I have to know. Some blue armor, another very good secret reward after what I've been through to get to it. But wait, there it is. Finally, I have to run across these boxes to get it, which doesn't seem too hard. Obviously it's a trap. I hope. Oh, you bet your ass it's a trap. Buckle up, because not only does the area flood with monsters, so does the rest of the base once you've gotten that key. It might as well be an entire level's worth of monsters that spawn just because of that damn yellow key. The Hell Knights return, and because you have adequate cover and room to maneuver, it's not a huge problem. Where the hell am I, anyway? The first area again. Okay, that's cool. Bunch of monsters, a revenant. You put a pain elemental in the exit room? That's a little mean. Ammo is tight at the moment after that onslaught, so I get up close and personal. I sure hope that the final yellow key area has something really good after all the trouble this level has put me through. Like, best case scenario for level 1 is to get the super shotgun early. So I think what we can take away from this experience is that level 1 of No Rest for the Living is amazing. It is so tight, so deliberately laid out, and good at communicating every single little thing to the player. And while every level isn't as good, they're all quality, start to finish. This level isn't as painful as the name would suggest. It's pretty good. A little more cramped. Maybe it gets its name from the pain elemental at the start that friggin' teleports in out of nowhere. Good jump scare, I suppose. I'm a little disappointed that the first secret I find near the start also has a super shotgun, which makes getting it at the end of the last level kinda pointless, though it becomes necessary equipment very soon with all the cacodemons, and the Mancubus. Oh man, see, this doesn't get me worried like a horde in Plutonia would, because I know I'll probably survive this encounter. It's gonna be a fun ride. One of the things these levels do so well is directing the player's attention to certain areas. You think the threat is coming from one direction until you hear a bunch of monsters wake up in another, always keeping you on your toes. Oh hey, blue armor, I bet there's a secret way up there. There's so many secrets, and everything is still really tight and balanced, like the collective experience of nearly 2 decades of Doom mapping was distilled into an episode and released, puzzlingly, only on the Xbox 360 at the time. Though they must have known someone would bring the levels over to PC within a couple of days. At the end of a lot of these stages, you can find a way to get a map, which will display all of the secrets in the level, and there are nearly a dozen in some levels. Canyon of the Dead is the 7th film in George Romero's Living Dead series and the first released posthumously. You'd think the experience of being dead would improve Romero's later entries, and I guess they have. This is a far better title than Survival of the Dead. Of course, I'm kidding. I'll never again slander George Romero, even if Land, Diary, and Survival didn't reach the dizzying heights of Night, Dawn, and Day. Because honestly, how many movies can? Don't you dare bring up Zack Snyder's remake in this house, you whores, disgusting Philistines, you suckers, thieves, and bad guys! Anyway, the streak of bangers doesn't let up. We're not in the canyon yet, but there's something very interesting in here that I had to highlight. You hit a switch that lowers a platform of chain gunners and revenants. Very Casali, right? There's a blue key there, yes, and a bunch of monsters, but the second I'm done clearing those monsters, the other platform with monsters... Look where it is. Do you have any idea the work and playtesting required to make an encounter this fucking tight? This is a symphony of violence. It doesn't get bad. It never gets bad. The eponymous canyon is another beautifully designed area. Here I am, weapons poor. I've only got the pistol, shotgun, SSG, chainsaw, and chain gun. And there's targets here that really make me need a rocket launcher. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. The fact that the level theming is progressive and continuous from one level to the next is pretty impressive. You see the vestiges of Canyon of the Dead leading into Hell Mountain before it becomes the kind of demonic castle that you'd expect. Now that you've got a rocket launcher, you're expected to use it. I am playing on ultra-violence, obviously, but don't be afraid to waste a couple rockets, say, turning a lowly zombie into gibs. That's something we do that's just for us and our mental health. Hashtag self-care with explosives. There's a plasma gun here too, rounding out the weapons we don't have to work too hard to get. You'll see later when attempting to get a BFG. The ramp up of challenge is so smooth you barely notice it. Maybe because they threw everything but archviles and boss monsters at you in the first level. Doesn't matter. Okay, that's the wrong switch. What about this one? Fine! And the theming I was talking about before carries over towards the next map as everything gets all red and rocky at the exit. Kinda like that red key I found in a secret and haven't used yet, which is like a giant neon sign that says, "The secret exit is in this level, dumbass!" And here it is, off to one side in, ooh, mega armor. Wait, where'd the exit go? Son of a bitch. Okay, there it is. Just closes off to fake me out. Cute, let's go. What do we got? Yeah, you know what? Your secret level in a Doom episode should be your hardest. It's tradition. It's like pumpkin pie at Thanksgiving and murdering the in-laws to the Rains of Castamere. It's how things are done. The level starts off calm, almost restrained, only a couple of mid-tier monsters as we head back into tech-based territory and away from the evil-looking hell castles of the last map. You're going around blasting demons like everything is normal until... The only time No Rest for the Living outright murdered me like I was 6 years old again playing Phobos Anomaly. Any wad can throw a bunch of monsters at you, but only a truly professional product understands how all the monsters work together to shape a battle. And how dangerous an archvile can be in a room full of dead mid-tier monsters while it's being supported by a spider mastermind. Chef's kiss. Vivisection lives up to its title. Not as transparently difficult as the secret level, but instead it's one big unfolding trap, an explorable lament configuration that preys on the player's expectations and knows our weaknesses as Doom players. You think the last monster is dead until the trap springs around you, and you think you're safe until you hear, "Fuck!" I feel like I'm constantly running low on ammo, and sometimes I am, but this illusion is supported by the strange decision to include no ammo backpacks anywhere, at least not that I've found. I've been capped to 50 shells, 200 bullets, 50 rockets, and 300 cells this entire time, and I will be until nearly the end. I'm doing a tactical retreat with a chainsaw. That's not to say there isn't enough ammo, there is, but the urgency you feel when you're running dry is heightened by this simple decision. Oh, it's beautiful. Inferno of Blood! John Romero smiles upon these level names, but can you really make something that lives up to that name? You know what? Yeah, that's good. That's an Inferno of Blood. Good job, Nerve. This level should be called Quest for the BFG because that's what it is. Getting the BFG is a trial, hitting a lot of hidden switches to get to this area that, like all good things in No Rest for the Living, is clearly shown to you. I want it. It will be mine. More immaculately constructed fights, a little harder, just a little. That smooth ramp up a challenge unbroken, now that the game has given you more energy cells and expects you to use that plasma rifle. Look at this area at the start of the level and then look at it towards the end. You see every bit of carnage left a mark on it. And it didn't just teleport enemies into this area, no, at some point it alerts enemies and then later on the enemies make their way into this area organically, somehow, through level design magic. A rare switch puzzle lowers one of the 3 barriers to the BFG. Okay, fair enough. The one piece of it that gave me trouble was this here, because I didn't think there would be a lowering floor over here. Why would I? Then a tricky strafe jump over here to that final switch, and we are now the proud owner of the big fucking gun 9000. Brutal. Exquisite. Let's get some use out of that BFG since they're loading us up on cells and unleashing an armada of cacodemons on me. Is it another extremely red hell castle? Sure. Maybe too visually similar to the other red hell castles of the episode, but there's only so much you can do with stock Doom textures, and the level is still a fucking banger. Action-packed, thrilling, penultimate level challenge stuff. It's a lot harder without a BFG, but never insurmountable. And even with the repetitive theming, there's still cool little details, like a chunk of bricks taken out of the wall showing exposed gore behind it. I'm not sure I've ever seen 2 textures used so much in one place, also so effectively. Add in a strangely foreboding exit surrounded by impaled dudes, and oh yeah, there's a BFG in this level too, which you'll want to grab. It's gonna make the last level a lot easier. On my way to finding it, since I'm not nearly as familiar with these levels as I am with like any other major Doom release, I'm still finding new secrets with new encounters and new rewards. Ah yes, here we are, behind a secret yellow key door, the BFG again. The craftsmanship of this episode should be written into game design textbooks. It's so tight, so seemingly effortless and professional. But, of course, it's not a Doom expansion without a disappointing ending. There's not much you can do if you're not going to program in a new boss, but at least it isn't an Icon of Sin fight. It's a Cyber Demon fight. Which means now that it is time again for everyone's favorite home game, humiliating the Cyber Demon. A cyber demon and an army of imps. But the introduction of that cyber demon as his rockets plow through the oncoming imps, very nice. This level loads me up on rockets like I'm gonna be rocket dueling the cyber demon. Oh no, no thank you. That is not the gentleman's way of humiliating the cyber demon. Trouble was brewing again in your favorite vacation spot, hell. Some cyber demon punk thought he could turn hell into a personal amusement park and make Earth the ticket booth. Well, that half-robot freak show didn't know who was coming to the fair. There's nothing like shooting a gallery full of hellspawn to get the blood pumping. Now the walls of the demon's labyrinth echo with the sound of his metallic limbs hitting the floor. His death moan gurgles out through the mess you left of his face. This ride is closed. Cut, print, ship it. 10 out of 10, a masterclass in Doom level design. If you haven't played it, find it, play it. If you've got the Bethesda port, you can download it. And if you've got the internet, I'm sure a quick Google search will bring up the WAD to use in your port of choice. Bethesda, hire these people. Again, if you're ever looking to make more Doom expansions in the future, instead of just giving console players access to some of the Doom community's stellar work. And stay tuned for more Doom content very, very soon. Hey kids, I'm back to do another short video on another John Romero release for Doom, because for Doom's 30th anniversary, Romero released Sigil 2. And if you like Sigil 1, this is like that, only more. I don't know exactly what to say with this one, because I feel like the excitement of a new John Romero Doom release isn't quite the same as it was last time, and I can't say I enjoy it as much as last time, which could be the fault of diminishing returns. I tell you what, I wouldn't have gone for a Doom 1 episode again. And John Romero knows that, because in the README, there's a section dedicated to answering the question, why Doom 1 and not Doom 2?
Sigil 2 is a 30th anniversary celebration of the 1993 Doom release. It was designed to fit the design patterns and look of the original Doom. I did not want to deviate from the original much, so this unofficial episode 6 uses the original texture set for the levels and adds a new sky like Sigil did.
Allow me to speculate a bit here. I think Romero prefers the slower, more horror-like atmosphere that gets a little broken when you have a super shotgun, one of gaming's most murdery murder sticks. It is what it is. And before I go any further with this, when the website says beware of ultra-violence mode, they're not kidding. Ultra-violence in Sigil 1 could be a slog, and if I played all the way through Sigil 2 on UV, my rectum would still be bleeding. So, like last time, play on Hurt Me Plenty. If you're curious what Sigil 2 looks like on UV, here's some of the first level. The enemy count is drastically higher, and you get chased by a cyber demon before you've spent a minute playing. It's just mean. Ultraviolence in Sigil 2 isn't even real to me, it's a joke. It's like, oh, brother, you having a giggle, mate? It's absurd. Like last time, it completely changes the way you have to play it. Whereas Hurt Me Plenty is more in line with the classic UV experience, and occasionally is ball-breaking. I, for one, can't wait until Ultraviolence becomes nothing but a troll skill level in custom WADs from now on. Since writing the script for this video, I went and played Sigil 2 on UV, and it's not actually as bad as I was expecting. However, it is kinda tedious because of the number of cacodemons you have to shotgun through, and sometimes not killing monsters in the monster killing game is preferable. Which seems bad, right? While the episode is mostly fine, it suffers even more from the limited monster selection than last time, and it's something that's always there to be just a little annoying, even though I think Sigil 2 tries to mitigate that by, in general, giving you bigger guns sooner and more cell ammo. And another thing, Jimmy Paddock's mini soundtrack, you know, the one I have on hand that isn't the Thor soundtrack, awesome, as I expected. No notes. Okay, with that said, there are heavy spoilers coming up, so be warned. A returning mechanic is shooting that evil eye to open things, though I didn't see any of them malfunction this time. Another thing you have to be on the lookout for is our old friend Fire Blue, everyone's favorite texture. Now there are little patches of Fire Blue that you have to shoot to open secrets, like this one in the second level, right? That opens one secret with a zombie man and one armor bonus. The trigger for it is a shootable Fire Blue wall all the way out here in a lava lake, because if you want 100% completion, you need all the kills, all the secrets, and all the items. And this one secret has 2 tiny little things to get you there if you find it. That's a troll secret. However, this teeny tiny little level has 7 secrets in it. It's called Violent Hatred, not to be confused with Perfect Hatred. The level names are truly Romero-esque, kids. We've got Violent Hatred, Cursed Darkness, Twilight Desolation, Fragments of Sanity, Wrathful Reckoning. That one is definitely my favorite. That's a Death Clock song. Vengeance Unleashed. You know, after the Wrathful Reckoning, you need to unleash some more vengeance. Descent into Terror, Shattered Homecoming, and Abyss of Despair. Oh, and Wrathful Reckoning? Guess what? I was surprised to see it. I thought we'd only get Dark Hell levels in this episode. And this one, along with another I won't spoil even though the secret exit is pretty easy to find and abruptly ended the level it's contained in, has some more tech-based themes. It's a nice change of pace. The gameplay still suffers from the lower monster variety, but I'll be damned if Romero doesn't try. Like, there's a period in the first half after the introductory level where I feel so over-equipped that when I get to the sewer level with the Cyber Demon fight, I'm not really scared because I have a BFG that I got on level 3 and 600 cells. This filled me with confidence. I got a BFG on one of these really narrow ledge paths before I even got a rocket launcher or plasma gun. I was cooking, man. I'm fine. I'll be okay. But then, over the course of the next couple levels, I find out, no, I'm not going to be okay. I'm not picking up ammo like I was before, to the point where I was having trouble finding bullets. There's enough resources to get through, at least on Hurt Me Plenty, but after level 5, Sigil 2 puts the fear of God into you, and it helps the episode immensely. The back half is a lot more fun and effective in my opinion, with level 6 probably being my favorite. Romero's unique visual style remains intact and is usually a strength for these levels, and that's certainly true of the later levels. Maps 6 through 8 are actually really cool looking, with the final level probably being my favorite visually, though I'm not a fan of the final fight with a spider mastermind and 2 cyber demons. Then again, I'm not sure how you can end a Doom 1 WOD if you're not going to make your own boss. I found out after publishing this video for patrons that it wasn't just some level trickery that made the spider mastermind tougher. Romero tripled the amount of health it has, so in a sense, he did add a new boss, in the most tedious way possible. Sigil 2 suffers from being a sequel because it feels like it's treading the same ground as Sigil 1, where that episode felt unique and distinct from the other Doom episodes. That's kind of the problem of doing a sequel in general, or any kind of continuation. I prefer Sigil 1, is what I'm saying, and I'm not sure if that's because you can't quite replicate the feeling of seeing Abaddon's Void again. Sigil 2 is certainly interesting, though it has some weird design choices that I can't stand, and I'm not talking about the sewer level, although that Cyber Demon fight was a pain in my balls, taking place in a pit of slime. One thing that I will point out that seemed uncharacteristically sloppy was how in Fragments of Sanity you have all this lava, but the sectors are so broken up and over-designed that you weren't in a sector long enough for it to register that you take damage from the lava. There's really no reason to have this floor broken up like this, and it's kind of distracting. I was thinking of trying this in a different, more vanilla source port, but this is made with GZ Doom in mind after the release of the first Sigil, and I'm running it with the same strict Doom compatibility settings. No, ignore the footage from before I turned off Bloom. I had Bloom on as a gag, I promise. I do not play with Bloom on. Bloom is sinful, I'm so sorry. But you know what? On Ultraviolence, there's a Cyber Demon there, so that fixes everything. From the ending text, I get the sense that Romero's gonna move on to Doom 2 levels next. At least that's what I took from it. There aren't any words in the level names that I don't recognize due to my limited knowledge of Old English and my limited knowledge of English, so I'll say this is 7 weirdly tiled fire textures out of 10. One thing that Sigil 2 reminded me, and also the glut of features and releases that happened on Doom's 30th anniversary from the community, Doom is never going to die. It is such an important cultural and technological touchstone that people will be making Doom WODs after we're all dead. I take comfort in that. I had to work so hard not to write Doom is eternal in that outro. I spent 30 days playing the most boring official Doom expansion ever created, TNT Evolution. I thought I had nothing to say about it, and I was... well, you'll see. Map 01, System Control. TNT doesn't really start bad, although having half the level basically be secrets is... weird. Lots of punching because there's a berserk in the first room, and also, let me tell you, playing Doom with a screen like this makes me miss having an ultra-wide, or a normal wide. I've got the peripheral vision of a low-rent Benny.
You're not supposed to be here!
It's like playing Doom on your
f***ing telephone. Get real.
Chain gunners in the first map, guarding the blue key in the exit, but at least we've got a chain gun, which is 100% better than no chain gun. Like I said, this doesn't start off bad, but we'll get there, kids. We'll get there. Please like and subscribe for more, because I'm going to be doing this forever, probably. Like, I don't know, as long as I don't have to go. If you want out of this video, just tap the screen twice. Thanks for watching. For 30 days, I'm unaliving Hexspawn in Doom's most uninteresting expansion, TNT Evolution. And today, I hope you got your chef's hats on, because we're doing a human barbecue. Yee-haw! Your first ingredient is a layout you have to run circles around about 50 times, because if you fall off this edge here, you have to run all the way back up here to make this running jump to get back. Or even if you just grab the blue key the regular way, it might sound like I hate this level, but I really only unlike this part. And the horde that appears in this room, including the elemental. We always brutally and mercilessly unalive the plane elementals. Next, simmer in a secret bit where you get a super shotgun while telefragging Barons of Heck. This ain't bad. Like I said before, a lot of the early stuff in TNT is pretty okay. Throw in chain gunners on ledges. Remember your chain gun sniping skills, kids. A cryptic secret that'll get you a soul sphere, your first encounter with a revenant, and just a big old block of Velveeta cheese and some uncooked pasta, because you're a bunch of fucking swine! I spent 30 days in TNT Evolution so that you don't have to, except most of you probably have already. Suckers. Power control is a big dumb thing. A thing that is big and dumb with a lot of featureless green rooms surrounding a thing with teleporters outside that take you inside, but then outside, but then inside again, and it is a very good representation of some things you'll see for the rest of TNT. High monster counts that are mostly low-tier enemies shooting at you from far away, using teleporters to get into areas because otherwise the level might flow well. Sure, this part here is hard, but I'm still alive. The challenge would be if this archvile could do anything to me or resurrect any of the monsters on the outside here, but he can't, so whatever. Please follow for more totally awesome Doom gameplay, and one of you could win a brand new bag of shit.
Warning, bag of shit not guaranteed. Offer only valid in non-mainland United States through March of 2023.
For 30 days, I'm selling this crazy thing that'll turn your dorm room into a movie theater. And since my store is closing, all inventory is going for $20. Just send your credit card information to this link. Wormhole is my favorite map of TNT because it shows a bit of real creativity. You go through this fairly difficult area and some tunnels on this, I assume, spaceship, so metaphorically and literally, TNT feels like it's starting to go places. This ship has secrets, kids. If you make your way into the lower levels, you can find a portal which will send you across time and space into another more challenging version of the ship. Sure, it's the same area again, retextured and harder, and both versions of this side area here are kind of cramped trash, but it's ideas that are good. Best level in TNT, hands down. This may be the last time you hear me say something nice about TNT. You might think it's weird that the world changes around you, but you know, that's normal for me. At least they're leaving me alone, you know? Blah, 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 30 days TNT, content, content, content. Hanger? Not hanger? Because why? This level is fine, I guess. Though I always hated them putting the exit at the start and making you run around and hunt for the key to come all the way back. The maze-like tunnels where you get to a switch puzzle to get the blue key with no switches. Really teasing my brain there, oh boy. Maybe because I've played TNT a lot, like this room with 2 Barons and a Soul Sphere and the Revenant Trap that I know is coming, gets me excited. While the later part where I'm stuck getting sniped by faraway hit scanners is just tedious. And then, more monster closets inside of the monster closets. I don't know, it's not bad, but it's awfully boring to talk about. A high monster count doesn't mean much when they're mostly imps. I've accepted the challenge, one that gives me glorious purpose, to complete TNT Evolution, Final Doom's lesser half, in 30 days. So, you know, 30 days, 30 TikToks, even though there are 32 levels. And open season is when things start to fall apart. A weird layout where you're supposed to activate some machines that do things? I guess it's supposed to feel like you're doing something important, but there's no context to it, and half the level is spent in tight, dark hallways shooting monsters with the super shotgun. And maybe if the enemies were placed better, they'd be challenging. but they're not, and neither is this level, even when it floods you with cacodemons. At the time, it was probably really cool. Standards for Doom wads were a lot lower in those days. It was June of 1996? They had the stones to add this originally free Doom wad to Final Doom and put it out 5 months after Duke Nukem 3D? Oh, John Romero, I love you. Why TNT Evolution?
TNT Evolution is a first-person shooter game released in 1996 as part of the Doom franchise. It was widely popular at the time of its release and is still enjoyed by many gamers today.
I've been trapped here a long time.
I'm sorry to hear that. However, as an AI model, I don't have the ability to know your current situation or context. Could you please provide more information?
Why do they call you clown? Here's your plasma gun. Take the chain gun back out, because there's mostly zombies behind this door, and you don't need that kind of firepower. Because if you're just gonna send one Baron of Hell or one Pain Elemental after me, I don't really need it. Look at all of this space and these monsters that barely fill a fraction of it. See the eponymous prison, one room full of monsters that they don't have to put any real thought into because there's an invulnerability power-up. You know, if you find this secret, but only after you shoot through 100 smaller enemies. You're right, TNT, I do need the plasma gun, not because I need the massive damage output, because it saves me time. This isn't a monster closet, this is a monster condo! I spent 30 days inside a TNT Evolution because I hate myself. This is metal. I know it looks like a sewer full of low-tier chain gun fodder, but we'll get to the metal parts. Like this big room full of low-tier chain gun fodder, and this big room full of low-tier chain gun fodder, or this absolutely enormous fucking room that is for some reason full of low-tier chain gun fodder and a couple of medium-sized enemies that require rockets. This giant room is where this level ends, and it requires you to do the same elevator switch puzzle several times while it opens the exact same monster closet trap every single time. Why do a thing to surprise the player once when you can do it 4 times so that the player will eventually let their guard down and you can hit them with 2 arachnotrons, half the number you face when the monster is introduced in Doom 2. If you're playing on I'm Too Young to Die...
Stupid babies need the most attention.
For 30 days, I can't mention the Bleaneman Square Blassacre. Welcome to the Nightmare Run Killer, the baddest, the hit-scanneriest Stronghold. Why is this level so infamous? Well, a lot because it's nearly impossible on Nightmare, which you would think would be attractive to people who play on Nightmare because they hate themselves, but nah. You see, there are nearly 300 monsters in this level on Ultraviolence, and just one of those monsters isn't a shotgunner, chain gunner, zombie man, or imp. It's annoying, overstuffed, maybe the hardest level in the entire thing, and it's level 9. It's monster closets and closets where a whole platoon of former humans teleport into a closet and slowly filter out. In a clip I can't play in its entirety because I'm doing short form content. I tell you about individual areas, but it all feels pretty much the same. I'm playing TNT Evolution for 30 days because I have angered God. Like a lot. Redemption. Redemption is small and boring and I have nothing to say about it. So that's how we're fitting 32 levels into 30 TikToks. Storage Facility is a big warehouse that also doesn't really last very long, though it makes up for it by teleporting revenants in at very inconvenient times. Oh, god damn it. It's a lot of squares and a lot of running. One warehouse is brightly lit and the other isn't. Do you see why it's so hard to make a detailed video about TNT? Nothing of interest is happening in a level where I murder 150 monsters. What word do I replace murder with? Herder? Führer? No, not Führer. We shouldn't do that. The best thing about this level is the music. It's a track called Let's Kill at Will, and it's awesome. We're spending 30 days. No, that's cool. Just put an arachnotron behind a fake wall. At least it's something. Also, crater. What's in that crater? 3 revenants and 2 barons. You can stuff every square inch of these levels with hit scanners, but God forbid you use something a little tougher. People compare TNT to Doom 2 in terms of difficulty, but like, this blue key trap has 1 mancubus. Maybe if I pistol started it, it would be a challenge, but the amount of ammo I'd get from shotgunner drops alone would make it pretty trivial. A little dark maze with mostly spaced out low tier enemies that pose no threat, followed by a surprise archvile who poses no threat because there's practically no way for it to reach a monster to resurrect, and even if it did, it would probably bring an imp back to life for all of 0.75 seconds. Welcome back! I'm unaliving the mortally challenged for 30 days in TNT Evolution. Here's how it's going. You guys remember how I said getting the chain gun in Doom was satisfying because you can mow down zombies really fast? TNT proves that you can have too much of a good thing. This level is mostly fine, but still suffers from having too few enemies in spaces way too large to accommodate them, so the fairly easy task of dodging Revenant attacks is made even easier. But wait, oh boy, it's our first cyber demon of the campaign. You know what that means. I saw a TikTok the other day where this girl was in the car and her father was rocking out to Dragula, Rob Zombie's Dragula, and she called it dad music. I feel like that took something out of me, something I can't get back.
It's understandable to feel frustrated or upset when someone dismisses something you enjoy as outdated or irrelevant. However, it's important to remember that people have different tastes or opinions, and what one person considers dad music might be a beloved classic to some.
Steelworks! I remember this one. It's like the last level where there was a cyber demon in the first room, except this time it's a spider mastermind. And I hear a lot of debate about which is harder, and I have to say it's the spider. You know, unless you can hide behind a box and avoid any of its attacks, the rest of it is low-tier enemies in waves and some plain elementals. And so many zombie men. An enemy that poses no threat to the player and should have stopped appearing about 5 levels ago. And walking through a lot of what I assume is molten steel, since they could have called it Bloodworks and gotten away with it. For 30 days, I'm gonna make the ha-has about the TNT Evolution, and hope none of those Rick and Morty references I'm always making age poorly. No, I'm not gonna do a wubba lubba dub dub. For Christ's sake, I have some dignity. This level is actually kinda cool because of how open-ended everything is. Look at you, TNT, spawning an arch violin where it might actually be a problem, and using your mid-tier enemies more. Running around, hitting switches, and ooh, right, the BFG, finally! We're almost halfway through this thing, and we finally got a BFG that we won't need unless we somehow stumble into a Kasali map. Now, onto the secret exit, which is behind 2 secret doors that are somehow disappointingly easy to find while also being weirdly cryptic. The cryptic part is that it teleports you to a seemingly random part of the map where they just shove the secret exit in, and you might even miss it if you don't turn around. I can't hate on this level too much, it's at least different. Pharaoh! Doom Goes Egyptian! One of the few maps at TNT made by Dario Casali of Plutonia and Valve fame, meaning
finally, some good fucking food.
It's not spectacular, and until it got patched post-release, it was missing a yellow key, but it's mostly different. There's some interesting traps, a cyber demon battle, and a big outdoor fight with a variety of enemies that isn't just chain-gunning low-tier monsters forever. Until the end of the map, when you have to mow down 60 shotgunners. Take the super secret exit behind this unmarked wall and you're done. Please leave a like because the algorithm requires engagement. You bet I prefer the cruelty of a Kasali map to the bland nothingness of most of the rest of TNT. It feels about as Caribbean as a yodeling contest, but it's engaging, stocking me up with rockets and hitting me with devious traps. Chain gunners, revenants, you see this TNT? This is a monster closet. Told you I'd need a BFG for Kasali maps. Top it all off with another cyber demon battle, supported by plenty of other monsters that he'll blow up all on his own, and an arch-vile behind a fake wall. I'd be mad, but at least it's getting my heart rate up. I feel like something's happening. I'm on day 17 of TikTok and Torment, and I haven't been this bored since they took away my Alexis Sinclair poster. Cause they don't let me have corn in here. I'm glad those Kasali levels gave me Kasali amounts of rockets for non-Kasali levels. I don't hate Deepest Reaches, really. It still suffers from the blandness of a lot of TNT while having a couple of areas that try to be more interesting. The layout is better. Not huge rooms with 2 shotgunners in them. Maybe I'm just won over by the fact that I'm in some natural-looking caves instead of another fucking tech base. Whatever, I give this one a pass. TNT is back on its bullshit. Processing area is like what an AI would make if you fed it some information about Doom. It's a tech base, of course, We didn't have enough of those. It's even named like a stock map you'd see in the first couple of episodes of Doom 1. It's full of low-tier enemies with some others sprinkled in to add flavor, and it still doesn't know how to properly use an arch-vial. You don't put them in a place where you can easily lose line of sight. Like if I'd gotten to this key and then it spawned, maybe because there's some monsters to resurrect. But no, you spawn a horde of pinkies that can't do anything but maybe single-file run at you, a man with a super shotgun. TNT knows how to properly use an arch-vial, and it tries later by teleporting one in after a horde of lower monsters, and it would be a challenge, except there's an invulnerability sitting right here, so you know, fuck it. Mill! You can tell Kasali was involved with this map because the arch-vial actually poses a threat. In space! I don't know what this is. I can also tell Kasali was involved because they put chain gunners behind a fake wall. Fuck you! Now also begins the tradition of TNT levels being too big and unwieldy, wrapping around some kind of computer core you can't get to both sides of without a blue key, due to a ceiling being about 5 pixels too short and an irritating bit of level design contrivance that blocks you from the yellow key, which leads into a big room where you have to hit some switches and open some doors, but then you have to alert the monsters by shooting. There are no monsters in this room, so the others won't be alerted naturally. I hate this so much. Okay, Cyber Demon is dead. This portal looks like it goes somewhere interesting and absolutely not another tech base full of low-tier enemies.
CV11, I would like to understand better your methods for...
I don't care, I'm doing something here. You want to know about my content? You want to be able to replicate it? Okay, try this. You're not going to make a salient point about AI replacing YouTubers in your April Fool's shitpost. It isn't going to happen. Now fuck off.
Shipping, respawning is the 19th level of TNT Evolution. It was created by Team TNT for Final Doom in 1996. This level is notable for its use of Doom Cube design. A phrase used to describe using Doom sectors to create a facsimile of realistic environments, such as offices or trucks.
Yeah, and it looks like shit, and it's boring.
Content does not need to be interesting to be suitable for consumption.
I know, it's crazy. They keep letting me make thief videos. Put a finger down if you just can't get enough of this riveting TNT content. I opposite of love this shit. Central processing is a big dumb thing full of low-tier monsters that flows like a shit river. But when I started this and had the image of too many low-tier monsters used as fodder in my mind, it was this exact area right here. And the level built up to a bunch of cliffs where you kill everything in the area and then run around for half an hour trying to figure out where you're supposed to exit. Hint, it's behind where the game teleports you, and you have to press use on the exit sign. Not a switch, not a teleporter, a goddamned exit sign. Like it's not even finished. I loathe Administration Center. Maybe it's not technically the worst, but it commits every sin that this expansion is known for. It's too fucking big. All the monsters placed in the center, surrounded by this massive hallway sprinkled lightly with low-tier enemies, are already alerted, and they're all gonna be at the bottom of this pit in a place where you can't shoot them, and if you move to the opposite side to get them, they teleport somewhere else. There isn't enough health anywhere, and you're forced to take damage in this pit because you have to come back to it several times for the keys that open these doors that didn't even register to me as doors the first time I played because they don't look like doors that would open because they're low-level Doom hackery to get masked walls to do that, and they only appear here. Final area, which takes me about 30 minutes to get to, even after playing this many times before, is the absolutely too fucking biggest area in all of TNT. This is not design, this is people scribbling lines in a CAD program and tossing some demons into it. Trash! This is it. Objectively the worst level of TNT, Habitat. More like Habitat for shit because guess what? It's mostly a sewer. Hiding a blue key behind a fake wall? Great. You're thinking, hey, at least it's throwing challenging monsters at you. Yeah, until you spend the majority of the level in a sewer. A ridiculously over-designed sewer where it makes the entrance to the other sections dependent on crossing 2 lines that lower 4 sectors and open a door, like the whole thing is designed around how totally cool it is that this shit tunnel has all this height variation. Door textures that run all the way up to the sky like it's baby's first Doom map bullshit. This is level design malpractice. Next! Hey look, it's another tech base full of low-tier enemies that I shoot with a chain gun.
Might I offer some suggestions?
No, I don't care. Why are you called Clown anyway?
It stands for Creative Learning Operations Warden Network.
That acronym is more tortured than I am. Now get out of here or destroy yourself from boredom from TNT or whatever.
I will remain. I will learn. I will grow.
Yes, of course, very ominous. I'm sure this will be important later. God is unalive. Here's TNT. Quarry is a recreation of every alien planet ever featured on Doctor Who, minus whatever is the one... You know, I haven't watched that show in like 5 years. Did they ever solve the mystery of that character that they never gave any characterization to so that they could stay a mystery? Quarry is one of the shortest levels in TNT, which makes it one of my favorites. It doesn't waste my time. I remember being impressed when I was a kid that it had these masked wall textures that look like cave openings, which adds to the atmosphere a little. It tries to make it seem like it has room over room with teleporters, but not silent ones like Doom mappers would use later with TMTNT's much more important Doom release, the landmark source port Boom, which itself is probably a fantastic enough achievement to overlook Evolution's sins. Yeah, it's that important. You guys ever pump and dump at a family reunion? Not your own family reunion, obviously, but somebody else's, and you start banging different women. But they're all related, so like they have slightly different mommy boxes. But you're test driving them, right? Seeing how Evolution has shaped each one a little differently, so that you can find one that's just right. I call this Goldilocksing. Anyway, this level sucks. Ballistics! It's not the worst! It's dark caves full of chain gun fodder and occasional larger enemies where you hunt for a trigger that'll lower an altar at the start so you can exit. We're still not doing Archfiles right. Mount Plain! I don't hate it as much as Administration Center, but I can't explain why after playing it. The largest hordes of low-tier enemies, hundreds of imps, its own barely designed sewer section. A wall that says disaster area that's actually a door that you need to open to progress. This map is vile. Death by 1,000 cuts. Unmarked key doors. The final area has the mountain that gives the level its name, and it's just teleporting lost souls at you the whole time. It's more of a series of small annoyances that get blown out of proportion, the Doom level equivalent of a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode. One of the most obnoxious levels I've ever played. I don't even need to censor the title. That's what they called it. Heck! Ruled over by the dreaded Peaches. This level isn't actually that bad, and I'm not just saying that because it was designed by Milo Casali or because a giant chunk of it seems directly inspired by Sandy Peterson's The Spirit World from Doom 2. It's fine, like the layout isn't bad, the fights are okay, it doesn't feel like a TNT map at all. It had me fooled with this section here where it's a lot of ineffectual pinkies and one Mancubus before BAM! Closet full of revenants. Now that's Casali shit. There isn't a single useless zombie man in this level. Not one! Map 28, kids, we did it! We're here at the second to last level of TNT Evolution, River Styx. And this one isn't bad either. It's like all the really terrible maps are out of the way, we're done with them. And this one I would say is even pretty good. Well paced, building up the demonic temple that occupies most of the level with a trek through the eponymous River of Blood. Though it's a little weird this lava doesn't do any damage, I'll take it. The monster placement and variety, the areas and rooms designed around the encounters and not just being unnecessarily huge for no goddamn reason. It doesn't feel like TNT at all, it's good. And we're almost done. Just one more level. I'm gonna get this out of the way now while I have time. The beginning of map 30, last call, with a teleporter that'll insta-kill you if you do it wrong. You can use an advanced source port to tell which lines will teleport you to certain death, but I'm gonna do it the intended way, by using the order of colored torches at the beginning. Red, green, green, blue, green, blue, green, blue, green, green, red, blue, and done. We did it! We finally did it! We're here! Forget all these monsters in this hallway, like the ones at the windows, because we've got one more Icon of Sin fight ahead of us, even if it's kinda crap. And it's a bit of a pain with Doom's vertical auto-aim, because it's not like in Doom 2 where you're on a high platform. The concentration of monsters being spawned are directly in front of you. Getting telefragged by a plane elemental is the worst way to die. Yes! My curse is lifted! Happy April, kids! I'll never do this again, I promise! as it seems to always go, I was pumped and about to release a video on some slob jank. I've been cooking, man, and if you're wondering how that makes your kitchen smell, not even the cockroaches stayed after that.
I'm an honest officer of the
law! Well, Bethesda announced yet another re-release of Doom and Doom 2 that includes, like, everything, which is probably how they should have released it first, since it takes, on a modern internet connection, 5 seconds to download all of Doom's official expansions. Heck, the last time Doom had an official expansion was No Rest for the Living in 2010. Bethesda unveiled this at QuakeCon 2024. Obviously, they're not gonna let me go to QuakeCon, not after that time I spiked Tim Willits' coffee with peyote and he started talking about how he invented multiplayer-only levels. The people who can really be credited for that are, well, the modding community. A still thriving cabal of dedicated Doomers who've been making maps for 30 years. And hey, maybe Tim Willits wasn't aware of the power of the Doom community, except that's where he got his start making levels for the game before id hired him. I guess he'd never seen anything made by American McGee. Millions of words have been written about how Doom's modability has ensured that the game will live forever. So when they announced this re-release and I saw that they were including an entirely new expansion with 16 levels made by employees from id, Night Dive, and Machine Games, I wasn't exactly surprised. They'd given the same treatment to Quake and Quake 2, and Doom levels are much easier to make. Then I look closer, and it talks about how, for what seems like the first time ever, it included new monsters and new weapons. That doesn't sound like a lot, but it's totally new for an official expansion, right? Please leave a comment telling me about an officially released expansion from Russia in 1998 that 10 people have heard of that proves me wrong. Hell yeah, we're getting that engagement, baby, racking up them sweet Doom clicks. It's confusing, right, because this was a free update to people who already own the Bethesda ports of Doom, but this new package isn't the Bethesda version? No, that one's out. It's Kex now. By the year 2035, all retro games will be powered by Kex. Night Dive will acquire Google and make it okay for me to say fuck in the first minute of the YouTube video. Please, Stephen Kick, let me say too. So, completely new port, made originally as Rum and Raisin Doom, a fork of Chocolate Doom, gets picked up and officially licensed. And while it's very classic focused and won't run your fancy Super H Brutal My House Ashes mods like GZ Doom, it will run most, if not all, classic Doom mods. As you'll see if you poke around the new community submitted mod menu here. There's a million of them already. Yep, that's an ass. But also, Batman Doom. This was the pinnacle of Doom modding in 1999. I'm not even kidding. I'm not throwing shade at this. This was remarkable. Also, good job creating a platform that lets anyone upload anything without credit or permission from the original authors for a game with thousands upon thousands of existing mods. Bold move to piss off the community that's helped keep the game alive for 3 decades. Have fun with that shit. I didn't hate the Bethesda port, mostly because it was improved drastically over its lifespan, but now we've got this thing called id24 running through Kex, I guess, and the kind of stuff you'd expect from a Night Dive re-releases here. Basic quality of life improvements and also automatically pitch-shifted sounds. It's more subtle than I've heard in other source ports, but I still don't care for it. I did end up playing with default settings to see how they want Doom to be remembered, so you'll hear the subtle pitch shifting. But that's not the only audio option you'll notice, because someone said, hey, didn't Andrew Hulshult remake the whole Doom soundtrack? Why don't we include that, plus new ones he hadn't released before, and also put that whole soundtrack on streaming platforms in lossless quality? Kids, when I saw that, I f***ed all over the place. Still can't say that word, huh? Still, the idea is to make Doom feel like it did back in the day instead of the smoothness you'd associate with something like GZ Doom. And it does. It even comes with an option to run Doom in DOS. Oh, sweet Christ, I am ancient. Yes, there's a DOS version for absolute purists. It even comes with a CRT shader. But id, Night Dive, Machine Games, Bethesda, where's the RTX version? Oh yeah, that's right, somebody already did that because Doom is forever, with an immortal mod community and a source code release, and Bethesda's willingness to treat Doom like the video game royalty it is, seated atop Olympus on a throne made of its demonic enemies, a game in a series that towers over giants, when gaming's balls dropped. That mod browser's a little messed up though, Bethesda. I mean, at least it's not an always online connect. Son of a bitch, that even matches the count in the video. Good job, kids. So yeah, I have some problems with the new port. The minimal HUD is kind of ugly and weirdly placed for my taste, so I played with the regular HUD on for the first time in years. It's a strange feeling going back to that big blocky bastard after all this time. Anyway, this isn't a video about a port, though I played through the brand new expansion, Legacy of Rust, on the new port. This new 2-episode pack contains levels made by Night Dive workhorse Kaiser, as well as Thomas Carter, Kevin Dunlop, and the whole thing was led by a fellow named Zazer, who is, according to my cursory Google search, a Doom community legend. The man was involved in more projects than I can count and made 5 of the 16 maps in this expansion and collaborated on a 6th. He also made 19 music tracks. Somehow, at a QuakeCon that had next to no mention of the game it's named for, Doom reigned supreme. The Dark Ages, the new re-release, and this fresh, hot content for the masses, the children yearn for Doom. There was classic Doom hype like I haven't seen for years. Let's fucking go. On ultraviolence, of course. What could possibly go wrong? The Union Aerospace Corporation, being the responsible interplanetary conglomerate that it is, found a remote region of hell that didn't seem to have any demons in it. Cool. Time to colonize it, and they awoke an ancient evil that destroyed the colony within 3 hours. I'm sure this made the shareholders nervous, so they called Doom Guy, as you do. Your orders are clear. Reclaim the lost base and preserve the UAC's legacy. I'm just here to kill some demons. The first episode, The Vulcan Abyss, starts innocently enough, with the level Scargate. Although there are some things that throw me off. There's visual references to the Doom Bible, or the earlier versions of Doom, like these tables with a poker game going on. There's a slight push to represent more realistic kinds of environments occasionally, like here, in what look like barracks. Right off the bat, I need to say that these levels are gorgeous. I suspect, like no rest for the living, that they'd never run in vanilla Doom. There's unexpected new additions like some destructible props. The gameplay is what you'd expect from an intro stage. Low-level demons getting shotgun. But the level itself is made with a kind of polish and detail you'd expect from a Doom mapping veteran. You know, like Kaiser, who I already glazed up when he was making the best maps in the new Rise of the Triad episode last year. There's new textures that all fit into Doom perfectly, and that's all well and good. Then you pop through a few secrets before hitting the exit switch. Oh. Holy shit. There's these new enemies called ghouls, repurposed from beta Doom sprites, but now they have fast projectiles. We'll talk about how they affect gameplay in a bit when they actually do affect gameplay instead of being chain gun sniping targets. You'd think they'd be as annoying as Lost Souls, and yeah, almost. They don't have as much health, meaning a single shotgun blast will take them down. Like, I understand how all this works, sort of, but there's no official Doom expansion that had this kind of design before. We don't walk into portals to hell and come out the other side in Doom. We cross over a sky texture and a loading screen takes us there. It's still one hell of an impactful visual to walk through this portal into a place where there are now piles of random viscera impaled on poles. People call attempts to make something less abstract and more realistic in the Doom engine Doom cute, and this is Doom cute as heck. We still can't drive vehicles, so this is our exit to... God, they've even included a Doom 1 style intermission screen with a map. The first Zazer level with a title worthy of a Romero smile. Yes, there we go. This is where the ultra-violence kicks in, kids. Shotgunners lining the walls in little holes, revenants popping up before you've got a super shotgun or a rocket launcher. Visually, again, the map is beautiful. New textures highlight the islands of flesh risen from this blood river. The architecture suggests a human base overcome not just with demons, but with their dimension itself. Corrupted. It's not just cool design, it's visual storytelling. And sometimes it burns. I mentioned these ghouls earlier. They were the first thing we saw come out of the portal. In terms of the impact on gameplay, they're faster than you'd expect and don't hit too hard. Which is good, because there's hordes of them. This is my honest-to-God reaction to an area in this map. Okay, this looks delicate. Let's grab the invisibility. Oh, sweet Christ, no! And just as I thought this level would be all caves and blood, I emerged to find this blood dam. A dam of blood! Remember how I said I was fighting revenants before I'd even gotten a rocket launcher? Well, the rocket launcher is here, atop an island of flesh.
I'm in danger!
I wasn't prepared for an official Doom expansion to get this real this quick. This game spawns an army of pinkies, ghouls, revenants, and cacodemons. I'm here for it. I can handle this. But this is ultra-violence. This is level 2. Inside this facility is chain gunners, lots of them, and a somewhat irritating switch puzzle that makes me run around and adjust platforms. Sure, the game isn't forcing me to shotgun revenants anymore, but it's put the fear into me, so I want to save rockets. This is the Banshee, an interesting addition to the enemy roster. Think of it as an evil, sentient, exploding barrel and play with this constantly in mind. If you're confused, just imagine...
yourself.
I'm out. Oh, that's not nice. I did not pistol start these maps. God help you if you pistol start the maps in this expansion. Because later, oh boy. The Banshees are useful in combat. They explode and hurt other monsters, so they're fun to use against your enemies. And while I'm on the subject, the ghouls can also be useful, because they have dumb Doom AI, are fast, and have faster projectiles. They'll often hit another enemy and cause infighting. I close off the blood dam and go to the exit. Nah, I'm kidding. There's a secret exit in this map if you keep your eye out for a hidden switch and go a little off the beaten path, where you'll find another switch to grant access to a fleshy tooth hole. That's cool and a little disturbing. God bless the developers who include a secret count in the stats on the map screen. Next up... Ash Mill feels like something that should be on Earth. So you go into the mill... Okay, that's not Doom cute, that's Doom adorable. This mill apparently produces terrifying wallpaper. This level is short and only has a dozen monsters in it, but don't let that fool you. I wasn't quite ready for what was coming. Oh, hey buddy, you get lost in hell too? Oh god, no, fuck! Meet the Shock Trooper, a new variant of undead human who carries a plasma rifle. He likes to fire in 3-round bursts, and he is an evil little shithead. He's not more dangerous than an arachnotron, as he's got less health and the projectile is basically the same, though he's quicker. And I thought maybe they'd just be in the secret level as a bonus, you know? No, he's coming back for every level after this. I don't think they're as dangerous in other levels, simply because here you're getting ambushed in the woods while there's clutter everywhere, so using the rocket launcher is suicide. He'll go down with a super shotgun blast. Too bad I don't have one of those yet. Of course, I find out later that you can press, use, or hit scan these trees to take them down, which I didn't think of because why the fuck would I? It's a Doom level. Once you reach a clearing in the forest, you do get a new weapon, the incinerator. Yes, Doom has a flamethrower now. Needless to say, my 3-round burst is better. Spirit Drains is a level that drains my spirit.
Actionable pun detected.
No, that one's just lazy. Hit him anyway.
Let's have a look at the monster count, shall we? Oh, okay. There's so many monsters I don't even have to try to get them to infight. This level is real long and a little mean. It's also a sewer. Oh look, finally, a super shotgun.
I'm in danger!
Oh god, come on, with the Baron too? I need to stop underestimating this expansion because it's already reaching Plutonia levels of monster invasions, and we're only on the 3rd level. And once you get the super shotgun, all bets are off. It's not like in 94 when they didn't realize how OP the super shotgun was. You'll be expected to be able to kill any monster that isn't a cyber demon or spider demon with this thing. This level's the first real gauntlet of the episode. It's almost a linear sequence of rooms that place revenants with the same frequency you'd expect of less dangerous monsters. At one point, while I'm low on rockets and super shotgunning my way through, it releases 2 archvials on me. One through an area I'd already cleared so it can respawn enemies. Yeah, now I actually need 4 medkits. Legacy of Rust, which never really seemed like it was fucking around, is now really not participating in circular boning. Expect the most inconvenient placement of archvials, and I can only sit here impotently adding more to the sewer count in response. Oh, look at that, an inescapable pit that I die in. That's not very Doom now, is it? Look at this. Oh god, why do they spawn before you get the cool item? Shit! Come on! Even if I had rockets, I couldn't use them here. Well, I survived that, but I'm not doing so good. Alright, you want to play it like that? Let's go, Legacy of Rust. You ain't gonna break me. Then you've got the last room where you're bombarded with another new enemy, the Visago, which throws fire that sticks around a while and does minimal splash damage. Oh yeah, Legacy of Rust is gonna burn you. Visagos have as much health as a Baron of Hell, you know, originally intended as a boss monster in the first game. And on UV, this room puts you up against 4 of them with minimal rockets. This is gonna look quaint by the end. This one's cool. It's not as sadistic as the last one, more thematically close to the human installation taken over by hell stuff than the previous sewer caves. It's easier, but I'm still feeling really paranoid after the last map. Like, I feel like when I grab this red key, every monster's gonna do a parade down lava and Ash Boulevard towards me, so I grab a rad suit just in case I need to be able to fight on lava. But no, nothing happens. Oh hey, I got some fuel. Let's talk about the incinerator. It has a shorter range than the plasma gun it replaces. Yes, I said replaces, because this expansion has no plasma rifle or BFG. I'm not mad about this. There's a bit of strategy to the incinerator. You need to use shorter bursts of fire, because while the projectile is hitting an enemy, it's also doing splash damage. This makes close encounters impossible, but opens up ways to stop monsters in their tracks for a while they burn. You've only got half the ammo pool to work with compared to the plasma gun, but if you're using it correctly, it won't matter. So I'm going through, doing my thing, happy to not have a boot on my neck for a while, when I hear what sounds like a spider mastermind outside. Wouldn't surprise me if they threw one in a level. I've already dealt with worse things. And I approach an arachnotron before— oh god, no! When I saw this, I said to myself, you made chain gun arachnotrons, with about the same cadence that Dr. Alan Grant said,
"You bred raptors."
And they're not hitting you like chain gunners. They're using the Spider Mastermind's rapid-fire shotgun attack. Yeah, because when thinking of the chain gunner, I always thought this enemy's attack should be like 4 times worse, and it should have 500 hit points. Listen, Legacy of Rust, next time let's agree on a safe word, okay? Again, if you're using the incinerator correctly, it can make short work of it. Jesus! This map is pretty good though. Not as flashy as some of the others, but a fun romp. Certainly not as hard, but I don't know that until I've finished it, so I've got emergency Doom protocols going, which includes leaving Berserk packs until I think I might need to quickly get up to full health again. Yeah, that was stupid. I tried. What's next? This level gets my blood pressure up from the title and opening bits alone. It lowers me into this suspiciously perfect hatred-looking start room, and if I've learned anything, it's that this is gonna hurt a lot more than thy flesh consumed. I like this level too. The baseline for monster counts in these levels is usually above 200, and sometimes, well, oh, you'll see. Since I'm not pistol starting, I'm starting to accumulate resources. This level in particular gives you lots of rockets. I'm maxed out on them towards the end. You know, before it drops a spider mastermind on you and a horde of cacos, pain elementals, mancubi, the works. If I had enough fuel to kill that big mama spider, it would have been a piece of cake. The incinerator stun locks it. This wasn't surprising to me because earlier in the level I got the chance to waste all my fuel on a cyber demon. How is this possible? The bigger monsters in Doom are immune to splash damage from rockets, but that doesn't appear to be true of the splash damage from the incinerator. I'd say that this was overpowered, but things get a lot more desperate later in the expansion. And by later, I mean the next map. The Coiled City is one of the cruelest Doom maps I've ever played. Summing it up by saying you'd better learn how to properly use the incinerator doesn't really do it justice. There are no ammo pickups for bullets or shells, and you maybe get 20 rockets throughout the entire level. It's not just that the level starves you of those ammo types, it's designed with malice. Because of the previous level, I enter this one with 94 rockets. I leave with 8. This immense, mind-screwy house of Cenobite worship has a lot of disparate pieces. Escher-like stairways, shock troopers firing plasma at you from across the map, Visagos with their fire attacks with splash damage, a whole wall of them while you're stuck on tiny ledges while ghouls take pot shots at you and banshees scream in your ear. What looks like an impressively designed fortress of hell with a relatively tame 200 monster count is the single most demonic level of Doom ever put into an official package. Bethesda signed off on this. They signed off on a level where the only ammo you get is for weapons that do splash damage. You have to hurt yourself at some point to beat it. It features the new monsters we've already met exclusively. This right here, this fucking line of cages containing shock troopers, is designed specifically so that your incinerator can't travel all the way down to kill every plasma blasting son of a bitch inside. So every time you pass by it, they're Amazon next day delivering pain towards you. And that's not even counting the ones on the edges of the map that are shooting at you, that are so far away that you can't fucking hit them because Doom's vertical auto-aim doesn't work at this range. And at the time of writing this port has no vertical aiming. If you want everything this level has to offer, you're gonna have to get the yellow key. You know what happens then? Why would I want the yellow key, you might ask, foolishly? Because you need it to get the Calamity Blade. This expansion has this thing tucked away right here, and if you think you're gonna have time to learn the nuances of it, well... I would have wrote this level off completely if not for this. The Calamity Blade is wonderful. While you can fire a single little burst, holding the button down charges it to widen the spread. Anything with less than 1,000 hit points is gonna feel the wrath of God. It's also got different behavior to the BFG. The projectiles seem to cut through enemies. We'll see it a lot more going forward because this expansion would be damn near impossible without it. And then this sadistic level ends, throwing 2 shock troops at you before building a big staircase towards a pentagram. This is the penultimate level of the episode, and while it isn't the hardest in Legacy of Rust, it's the meanest. A boss map, in a sense, although you've already killed a cyber demon by this point. It's nothing compared to the last one. I've gotten a sense of how the new monsters work, and I even get to see them fighting. It has cute little touches, like this skull that spits out gibs and a yellow key. I don't really have much to say about this one. Kinda echoes Circle of Death in Doom 2 with its layout. Not too tough before you hit the exit switch and the episode ends just like knee-deep in the dead. Damn. The oldest trap in the book, and you fell right into it. Even the best make mistakes. Well, don't put the exit switch there. As you fade into unconsciousness, an epiphany surges through the pain. The base is beyond recovery and the UAC knew it. Goddamn company. Why send their best agent on a suicide run? There's something else at stake. What are they hiding on this barren, bleeding rock? As they toss your half-conscious form into a rusty iron cage, you vow to find answers. Time to carve a legacy of your own. The demons put you in a cage? They don't just kill you? Well, yeah, obviously, because we're in for a fate worse than death. Welcome to Episode 2. Time for Pain. This is a level in the tradition of Hell Beneath. You're starved of resources and faced with what seem like insurmountable odds. How desperate do things get? Well, I'm fisting these boners, so what the fuck do you think? Do they really need to teleport around? This level does give you plenty of good weapons, the rocket launcher, the super shotgun, and then briefly it turns into the Matrix level from Tech War, but it doesn't hurt my eyes because like the rest of this expansion, the visual design is on point. The first area you walk into is this incredible thing here. Oh yeah, and there's a cyber demon standing in the middle on this platform for most of the level, so that's fun. You're not expected to fight him, you telefrag him at the end. Very Romero. I'm impressed with how interconnected everything is and the layout of it. It's mean, but it's well designed. What's next? This shot almost entirely misses a Hell Knight. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but I'm still mad about it. RNGesus has abandoned us. This might be my favorite level. Another rich, beautiful map that flows wonderfully. I remember thinking that No Rest for the Living achieved design that could stand up to modern Doom mapping, and now this, even without the fancier GZ Doom stuff, brings even more modern sensibilities to an official expansion. It's not easy by any means, just not particularly cruel. I found myself rationing the rad suits to get through the damaging areas. It's another really strong echo of the human base built-in hell theme, and has that satisfying feeling when you're walking towards the end and you're revisiting the central area that's littered with demon corpses. The exit is right back at the beginning behind a yellow key door, and I see those gibs on the floor next to the exit switch. You're not fooling me again, Legacy of Rust. See this on the map? Those brown lines mean that there's more to this. It's not a solid wall, there's more behind it. I'm gonna see if I can hit it and then run backwards to avoid the lowering floor. Oh, you motherfucker. I am getting a little tired of all the tanky Vasagos in small spaces that I have to flame or super shotgun to death fairly slowly. Maybe things will pick up again soon. I don't know why it's called Disunion. It's nothing like Dis. A much shorter and crueler level than the last one, Disunion asks, what if we made the player get through an entire room of painful slime floors before taking care of the monsters inside because otherwise you would just fucking die? Or what if we put a secret lowering platform that will let you access only a chain gun, a weapon that you'll pick up from one of the half-dozen chain gunners in the level? You know, if your pistol's starting, it's very handy. If you're not, just skip it. Otherwise, you need the kind of timing that only the abusive tutelage of J.K. Simmons can drill into someone.
So just play faster than you give fucking handjobs, will you please? You fucking weepy willow shit sack. Not my fucking tempo!
In general, the secrets in this map are an enormous pain in the ass, and that includes finding the secret level. I get it, they're all marked with these weird eye textures. It's a sequential unlocking of a secret exit that feels like it takes forever. You have to run down these stairs here and go down this elevator because there's a trigger to open a tiny door with a switch behind it that you have to hit while the elevator is coming down. That opens a door that leads to an elevator where you can get a rad suit, but don't take it yet because you need to find a secret on the other side of the level marked with those eyes that'll raise the elevator slightly so you can make it over to this area which has a lava pool with 2 rockets and an invulnerability in it. Yeah, that's cool, you don't see many of those. Guess what, asshole? You need to grab that and run to another part of the level. I saw this here and thought I'd just bring a rad suit, but no, you need the invulnerability because to get onto this platform I had to rocket boost myself across this gap because I don't have enough room to strafe run onto it. So you know what I did? I ate the splash damage and did it anyway. And then a gate opens, which you go through to open another door that still requires the red key to exit, just like the normal one. It took me an hour to put all of this together, so I'm not going to spoiler tag anything. I'm not saying that it's too obtuse. The clues are there. A face rocket is how you were supposed to get into Warren's in Doom 1, but I'm still really salty about having to eat that rocket to the face, kids. Future Civvie here. I was able to strafe run over to this platform when I tried it again, but I think this area is designed to discourage that. Also, if I had to choose, a rocket to the face is funnier. All in all, not the worst level, but a bit short and irritating. It doesn't demand that the player suffer too much, I guess. On to secret level number 2. Ouch. How are your rocket dodging skills, kids? Yeah, mine too. Another level dependent on infighting to an extent. Like here, you want the Cyber Demon to kill all these Hell Knights because you have to walk over the lights to open the next part of the level. It's not that cruel. If you look, you can see that there are cages behind me that the rockets will pass through to avoid you having to take too much splash damage. Some levels just want you to feel some pain. There isn't such a thing as a no damage run of this. You need to go over toxic floors for a significant amount of time, collecting medkits to stay alive in this crude maze. There's a room full of Archviles that I can't possibly get the Cyber Demon to kill in a timely manner. I have to hit 2 switches to progress, and I thought I had to Archvile jump out of these, but no, eventually the floor raises. Eventually the floor raises. I still had to tank an Archvile attack like I had no choice. So what kind of reward is at the end of this horror show? The Calamity Blade, my beloved. Goddamn right. It's called Echoes of Pain because it's not all that painful at all. It feels like a lighter, more fleeting pain than a lot of maps in Legacy of Rust. This is a pretty classic style Doom map, even if it has new enemies and weapons. I cruise through it for the most part. Don't try to use the Calamity Blade on flying enemies. It doesn't move up or down. It just goes in a straight line on the old Y-axis. It's still awesome. This map feels very standard and a bit different than most of the levels, which leads me to my biggest complaint about Legacy of Rust, which is that it's a bit uneven. Some levels are massive and stuffed with monsters and evil traps, while others play like pretty standard Doom 2 levels, all things considered. Difficulty tends to spike dramatically during certain maps, while all but disappearing in others. Like, remember the third map, the sewer level? That one is way bigger and way more challenging and probably belonged closer to the end of the episode. And a map like this lacks the bigger and more impressive set pieces of earlier and later maps. It's very chill, very laid back. Like, look at this, it's only got 184 monsters in it. What is this, a vacation? Again, the title of this level would suggest torture when it's really quite straightforward and not too difficult. Though I do need the Calamity Blade in this one. I think this might be my favorite level visually. The fiery sky outside, the way the lighting is inside to reflect it against the dark backdrops. When it does heat up, the Calamity Blade helps a lot. God, I love this weapon. Put the Calamity Blade into Doom the Dark Ages, you cowards. Rust, wood, marble, and blood make up this level. There's a part where it drops 8 revenants at you that would have been a lot easier with the BFG, but whatever, you can run off in a direction and avoid too much damage. You know how I was saying that some of these levels just aren't as cruel or as interesting as others? Well, we're done with the boring ones, if you can even call them that. They're fine levels, they're beautiful to look at, and they play really well. But we're done with fun and light. Nothing could have prepared me for... This one? This is a very different beast. This level looks like it got its own texture set. It is, as you'd expect from the title, in some kind of tech base, but it's pretty much a linear path through uncompromising viciousness. You don't see a lot of flesh walls or blood oceans, but that evil lurks underneath, just waiting to come out. If you're pistol starting this, good luck. You think a room full of ghouls is bad? This is just an appetizer, kids. This is nothing. You can tell it was made for a pistol start because rooms introduce you to new weapons and then flood with low to mid-tier enemies. Then you get to a room so goddamned evil that even on ultra-violence they put an invulnerability sphere in here because it is impossible to survive otherwise. Until Zero Master puts up a video tomorrow proving me wrong. I'm not sure if it expected me to stay in the center area. I assume the designer knew I'd Archvile jump out of there and go to town, but this black and white haze of fire sprites feels a little unnecessary. I mean, if you're invincible the whole time, there's really not any challenge to it. Unless you don't have the Calamity Blade, which, no, don't come here without it. Because it doesn't shoot up or down, you'll be blasted into the air by the Archviles, making them hard to hit with it. Like, I never died in this room, but I played it a few times to see if I could do better. Don't worry, there's plenty more Archviles to come. But the next big room... You know, I'm just not sure it's enough revenants. And here's the room where you get the Calamity Blade. And I know, you're in the comments saying, Civvie, this isn't a slaughter map, this isn't Sunlust, this isn't, yeah, I know. I know what a slaughter map looks like, I've avoided playing plenty of them. I don't really enjoy that kind of torture, and ever since I lost my virginity, I don't use video games as a way to measure my manliness, he said in a video called Pro Doom. Well, just try to get the yellow key. Just try it. Legacy of Rust's defense, it does give you a damn fine crowd control weapon. This is as brutal as you'll ever see an official Doom expansion get. Not only is it the enemies, it's the fact that you're surrounded by inescapable pits that'll kill you if you fall in. But there's no instant death trigger in Doom, so you gotta wait. It's agonizing. If Legacy of Rust thinks I'm gonna give up now, look at the monster count, 556 out of 555. That's overachieving right there. Time to hit the exit and go. What? It's only 8 cyber demons? You'd think 6 cyber demons might be enough. I tolerated this level's bullshit until now, but come on. It's not just the cyber demons. It's the inescapable slime pits, which aren't just around the arena, but in between the steps of the arena, so you can conveniently run into them and then reload your save. Just immensely frustrating. Even knowing how the Calamity Blade works won't save you. If Go To It was the first official slaughter map in the history of Doom, then Soul Silo is the second. Fuck! The opening to this map is just majestic, dripping with atmosphere and menace, building up to something big. I wonder what kind of boss Legacy of Rust has in store. Oh, that was easy. Oh God. These guys are tyrants. Yeah, like in Doom Eternal. They're like mini cyber demons. A quarter of the health, but just as many rockets. Then the level does something I didn't expect. It reshapes itself, turning the floor I was on into a maze somehow, flooding it with Visagos and Arch Vials. I barely have any ammo left, and I'm running scared. This is nerve-wracking. I'm sweating bullets. get through it without that much trouble and grab 2 keys, which take me into... Is that a fucking nuke? Christ, look at all of them. Okay, that was pretty rough, but I think I'm ready for the boss. God, there are a lot of missiles here. Uh-huh.
Greetings. You've reached the voicemail message system for customer support at Elder Scrolls Online, Bethesda, and other ZeniMax products. Please leave a message with your name, phone number, and a short description of your issue after the tone. Thanks.
Hey, Bethesda, Civvie here. What the fuck? Okay, you want to be like that? That's how you want it? This is it, the final room. I'm here to arm the nuclear warheads, I guess. Don't understand why we've never tried nuking hell before? Let's see what you've got, Legacy of Rust. Oh, so your boss is a horde of mini cyber demons, huh? Well, I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping for one big thing to cap off the episode. Still, bold move sending me into an endless crossfire of rockets, but guess what, Legacy of Rust? I've been studying the blade. Oh god, I thought that was gonna sound badass. Katie, please edit that out. Fine, just roll the clip, you bitch. And suck my dick! I return back home and detonate, by my count, 9 nukes.
Snatch people from hen!
Tick-tock, tick-tock. The air is thick with blood and irony. You've turned the UAC's final gambit against them. But will they have the last laugh? No. Then, with a snap and a puff of ozone, the portal winks out of existence, its crimson maelstrom yielding to blessed silence. 0. It's done. You've rid the world of 2 evils in a single violent stroke, and survived. Legacy can wait. You ain't finished yet. Doom is never finished. Doom will never be finished. At the time of this writing, I am among only 0.1% of players who have finished Legacy of Rust. On Steam. You can take the wad and play it with most source ports, I think. Legacy of Rust is a bit uneven as an expansion, with some wild difficulty spikes, but goddammit, it made me feel like a man and a half. Let's get together and do this for the next re-release, huh? My safe word'll be Tim Willits is full of shit.